Alrighty. Hello. Hello. Good morning. It is footy season again. Welcome back, everyone. Assuming there's some Carlton supporters in the chat right now. It is the first match sim or first bit of Carlton action we get for 2025. 2025. That's actually crazy to say. The Blues are taking on St Kilda. This game's probably scheduled to start in about 10 or so minutes. Those who are in chat nice and early, welcome. If you are in the chat, say hello. It has been a hot minute. The last video I did for Carlton was like end of 2024. I did an analysis for that god-awful 60-0 start against Brisbane, and you can see the last time out against Brisbane we only lost that by 28 points, but all the damage was done nice and early. We have a few fresh faces suiting up for the Navy Blue today. You can see the list being gone through on your screen, but I can read out some fresh faces. You can see who we're missing. Jack Silvani's not out there as of yet, of course. Well, he was ruled out all of last season, and Sam Doherty basically the same off memory. I mean, it's all a blur last year, but Sam Doherty is going to be playing today. Silvani is out. I think they're going the conservative approach with him. Ben Camporelli, of course, the new draftee, he is not playing today, but his brother is. Sam Walsh, Nick Newman, of course, out for the season with that injury. Unfortunately, Curno's just had knee surgery, so he'll be back probably in the first couple of weeks of the year. And then Rob Monaghan, Alex Chincotta, and Matt Duffy are all not available for this team, but it means we do get to see some exposure from a few younger players. Harry Lemmy is out there. Ashton Moyer is out there. Cooper Lord has had a big preseason, and those photos have made him look like an absolute unit. So we may be seeing a bit of our midfield time from him, especially in the second half. And then Matt Carroll also came back to the team after he was delisted initially. It's actually a pretty strong group. We're missing, I don't know how many players we're fielding. 30. There we go. No Francis Evans as well, of course. He was selected. We will be seeing Nick Haynes today, of course, a new signing that we garnered in free agency. Jagger Smith is also playing today, number 7. So he's taken Matt Kennedy's number, who I just realized is not on our team anymore. So that is a little bit of a depressing thought. Lucas Camporelli, as we said, is out there as well. And then you've got the mainstays, Paddy Cripps, Harry Mackay, Tom de Koning, obviously out of contract this year. So he is going to definitely be an interesting watch as the year goes on, and the longer he doesn't sign that contract. Graham, welcome to the stream. Who else we got? That is a long username. Carlton never lets me down no matter what. They probably have let you down a few times over the course of your fandom, but it's all part of the journey, and this year is another year where we may have to, I'm not sure what we're going to endure. Let me know your thoughts on who you think or what you think is going to be the outcome for Carlton season. Do you think Carlton are going to pitch in the top 8? Do you think they're going to pitch in the top 4? Do you think they're going to miss the 8 altogether? For me, I've said this to a lot of people. I think that Carlton are going to be either a top 2 finish or they are going to miss the 8 entirely. I think there's no in between. You either win your 50-50s or you lose them all. And that is going to ultimately be the difference maker between something, a difference as drastic as finishing top 2 or finishing outside the 8. I don't think it's going to be like a hideous outside the 8 finish if we do finish there, but I think 9th or 10th, I can so see that happening. But, there's... I haven't even seen a preseason hit out be played yet, and I'm already making conclusions. So I think regardless, it's going to be a very, very intriguing season for the Blues, because how many years of this window do we still have? I mean, we've got quite a few ahead of us. That Jagger Smith selection, I think, prolongs our window a little bit, especially if he comes on very nicely in the next 2 or 3 years, and he sort of accelerates far ahead of the expectations everyone's had for him. Looks like the broadcast has just gotten underway, so that is awesome. For St Kilda, you can see who they are missing. They have not updated their injury list since January, so that really probably sums up their franchise, just generally speaking, a bit of a poverty franchise. Like their injury, I don't know if it's the injury department who controls that, the website, UI team, they've got to get that shit fixed up, because their fan base is probably wanting an updated injury report. We had a pretty fresh one in the last week, so that helps us out. But for St Kilda, we will be seeing Jack McRae, and we'll also be seeing Toby Travaglia, Hugh Boxshall. That's going to be a pain in the ass to pronounce. And Harry Boyd, a lot easier of a name to pronounce, all named in the squad. They've got a bit of a smaller team available, a 26-man team. A lot of players are familiar to us. The last game we played in the regular season was against St Kilda, and they, if we track back quite a long way, Jack Higgins kicked the game winner, and I thought for a moment that was Carlton Collingwood relived, but not to be. Fremantle did not get up against Port at home, and so that was our saving grace. We are not too far away from the opening bounce. It's just kicking off here. And man, it is a hot day. So I think we're going to see the Blues probably be a little bit more benefited with... Wait, so Stocker is fit. So what the hell is this injury list? What is this injury list? It's not even updated. Okay, so aside from... Well, Kamenides fit as well. So I don't know what the hell that injury list is right there by St Kilda, but apparently is doing a lot better than the people operating the injury report. No. So anyway, looks like we've got Cripps in the middle with Chera. Pitto is starting the ruck. And for St Kilda, who is that? This is going to be a bit tough for me with the St Kilda players, because I've got no idea who some of them are. Looks like McRae's in the middle. Steele is in the middle, of course. We are now underway. And it looks like Sam Doherty's in the guts. The Blues are going to win it out of the middle immediately. It's Chera with the kick on the left. And ball hits the ground. Saints defenders there. Mackay got his hands on it. It's going to look like it's a lock-up. And a ball up for for both teams to compete with. De Koning looks like he started forward. So no Charlie, which means that De Koning and Harry are probably going to be that pairing. Looking to see who's starting on the field. Motlop and Fogarty in the forward line, Akers on wing. That's not too surprising. Ball up, it's knocked down. Clearance by Wanganeen Millera. Mark dropped at centre half back, and it looks like we're going to have another ball up. So if there's a lot of stoppages, I think that's going to benefit both teams, because they need a little bit of break. Jagger Smith is in the middle, so maybe he's going to be that 7th midfielder we like to bring into the contest. He could be playing half forward. It looks like they're trialling that. Jackson Binns is on the far side wing, so that's going to also be fairly interesting to see how he competes. He's on Brad Hill, so that is, of course, Brad Hill is very much Binns' senior, so I'm interested to see how he performs. The Saints ruckman's got it here. I don't know who that is, but they kick it to half forward. It hits the deck. No one got their hands to it. Ball bounces awkwardly. Sard with the mop up, and Akers will switch the play and kick it out wide to Fogarty, who taps it to himself. Ball hits ground. Darcy Wilson gets his hands on it. It's a kick inside 50. Picked up cleanly by Sharman. And then the kick on the left is well wide of the goals. And it is out on the full by Hugo Garcia with his first touch of the game. You look at it one of two ways. If there's a lot of stoppages, it is saying that players will have a bit of time to catch their thoughts. But it means that it's a very physical game. And it looks very blustery out there as well. So the ball is carrying a lot. I don't know why it's gone very quick, the scoreboard. I'm going to have to do a sync up every so often. Body bump in the ruck contest at centre wing. It's knocked back to Wanganeen Millera, who sits on the back of the stoppage. Ball picked up at ground level by the Saints. They have the numbers over the top. It's McRae. The Blues numbers roll up. It reaches half forward to Jack Higgins, who's going to move it quickly. There's numbers in the centre, and it's dropped by Burns. Motlop's there to help. Saints player flicks it over. Akers does well in that one-on-one, and the Blues will rebound off halfback through Chera, who finds Cripps. The overlap by Motlop. He's got a lot of space to run into. He could have passed it off to De Koning. He's gone himself. And he's absolutely shanked the crap out of that kick. And it will be a boundary throw-in the forward pocket. So numbers will set up behind the ball for the Blues. No score yet in this game. And I am not gathering a clear dominant side in the early going. Only 3 minutes in. Pitto takes it out of the ruck straight to Cripps. It goes to ground. And the Saints will kick it into space to the far side. Half back flank. Didn't look like they were intending to keep it in. And Jackson Binns' appeal does not go silenced. And he'll kick it straight to Doherty, who's about 60 out. And he'll look inside 50. Just sits it up about 10 metres out. But that wind is very clearly going straight to the far side wing. And so it looks like you're probably going to have to kick across your body if you're a right footer just to keep that ball in play or to compensate for that wind. Lewis Young's going to get a free kick because he was thrown out of that marking contest by Caminiti. And Lewis Young will get it ahead to Binns, who's going to center the ball to the top of the square. It's Harry with the run and jump, and he takes the grab 5 to 8 metres out from goal. This will be... Well, I do remember, I think last year or 2 years ago, he had a kick from this exact spot and kicked it off the inside of his foot and missed it entirely. So 5 minutes gone. It's been pretty messy disposal, which is something that you expect in your first hit out against proper opposition because you're used to playing against, well, your own players. So you're not going as hard. You're going with a little bit less intensity. Harry gets us on the board and kicks truly. And the Blues kick the first major of the game. They lead 1 straight 6 to the Saints 0-0 scoreline. I'm just going to quickly add a little... hold on. I think I just need to fix this up. Modern. Okay, that's not going to work. Hang on. Don't mind me for a second. I'm just going to add something that makes it easier for you to read. That is not the same font. It is the same font. Okay. Okay, ball's won by the Blues. Cripps kicks quickly. Straight inside 50. De Koning takes it full stride. Great hands to Fogarty. He's going to square it up. And Harry's got another mark. And it looks like Zane Cordy's got that matchup. He was well behind Harry in that marking contest. And it looks like the Blues are going to get another opportunity. A quick bit of operation there by Harry. Kicked one about 30 seconds ago. And it looks like he's... Well... His looking to double that tally very, very quickly. Don't mind me. I'm just fixing this up, and this will help us out a little bit. Harry's going to kick the drop punt this time, and that sails right through the middle. And the Blues have got 2 early ones through Harry Mackay. And the Blues are, well, have responded quite well. I mean, how many times does Michael Voss bang on about pressure and contest? And the Blues winning the contest has helped them territory-wise. And they've got 2 early goals to lead 12-0. Harry Mackay's got the first 2 goals of the game. And I'm going to keep a log of that, actually. Carlton goals. Saints goals. So we've got Pitto, Cripps, Hewitt's now on the ground, Doherty in the middle. So maybe Doc is playing heavy midfield time this season. Kick cleared by McRae, and it's Cowan with the intercept grab. He was just in better positioning. Doherty will give it back to Cowan, who tries to take the man on and does well to fend off. Hands off to Sard, who will kick on the non-dominant right, but he finds Akers beautifully on the far side wing. And he's going to find the extra man over the top, which is Orazio. Going to tuck the ball under his arm and kick inside 50. Is usually a good kick inside 50, but Pitto found himself behind the opposing ruck, and the Saints will look to rebound off the back 50 through Burns, who looks left and kicks on the diagonal short to Hill. So 8.5 minutes gone. Harry's got the first 2 for the Blues. Saints will kick to centre wing. Wiedering spoils the ball in front. Blues with a nice triangle hand pass. Oh no. Saints get the ball back, but they quickly cough it up, and the Blues have the numbers to the open side of the stoppage. Williams is going to go back into traffic and kick wide, but that was overshot as he was looking for Jesse Motlop. Those two, of course, played last week for the Indigenous All-Stars, so they've got an extra rep under their belt, but not quite the connectivity there. Harry going to go in this ruck contest, and he did well to remain stable. He handballs it back to Sard, who fumbled it. It gets the arm pinned, and then looked for the bent. What? Blake Akers was right there, and they've called a deliberate out of bounds while Sard was being tackled. I mean, that is just a pretty pathetic umpiring decision, so some things don't change. Gets to centre wing, and that Saints player gets absolutely crunched. It's Jack Steele. They'll move it quickly because Brad Hill was there for the handball receive, and he kicks down the line to Caminiti. Numbers rushing back for the Blues. Caminiti's going to kick inside 50 before those numbers set up. Hits ground level. And there's a lock-up, and it's not Mark Pitnet, Jacob Wiedering, who is able to cause a stoppage there. Matt Carroll's playing in the back pocket for the Blues on Dan Butler. That's going to be a good bit of experience for him. The Blues look to clear. It's Pitto. Saints meet it on the half volley. Motlop nearly took a Saints player's head off. And the Blues, it looks like there's going to be a stoppage or an in the back. And it is favouring the Saints. Liam Stocker will kick back to go forward. Webster. They'll line the perimeter. Wanganeen Miller, he's got an extra man if he wants to use Wilkie, but he's not going to. Fakes on Moya. He's going to go inside 50. The short pass was smothered. And it's Matt Carroll who does a great job there to send the Saints back, but they still have possession. Hill, about 60 out, is going to survey the 50, kick inside 50. And Lewis Young decides to not even possess it with his hands. He kicks it off the ground, and it works out in the end. Williams, handball to Hewitt. He's going to get it into space. The Blues have a number over the top here, and it's Fantasia. Oh, that bounce has worked out beautifully for the Blues. They just need to get it over the top. Williams remains composed. The bounce does not work. And the Saints are able to force a stoppage at half forward. So those long sequences there are absolutely going to kill the players. They are going to be run into the ground if they have to experience that sort of like toll on the body. Pitto just completely discarded the Saints ruck, who I still need to work out who that is. McRae on that left foot of his, that trusted left foot of his. He kicks out wide to Steele, who's been fairly busy around the ground. He hasn't been all that prolific in the centre bounces and the stoppages. Kick to half forward. Saints don't look to have a very known marking contest, so I think at ground level, that's where it's going to be won. We've got a boundary throw in here at half forward. Doherty's lathered in the sunscreen on the face, which I think is a pretty wise choice. De Koning in the ruck now. That fell incredibly short. That's the wind talking right there. Hewitt is going to kick forward. A bit of back and forth here, and Wilkie does well. Great positioning. Got over the top of Moya. He takes the mark, and now the switch. Wanganeen Miller, he needs to mark. He's put himself under pressure by dropping the mark. But Wanganeen Miller does well to find a bit of space on the near side wing. However, he's actually sandwiched himself. And it's actually going to be Carlton football. That kick's gone out on the full, and Lewis Young is going to have an opportunity to slow the play up a little bit and allow the players to catch their breath. Young will kick downfield. There's no tall marking contest. He's kicked to Jesse Motlop. I don't know where the Blues contingent are. Saints kick upfield. Good intercept, though, by Nick Haynes, the new recruit. That's his first touch, and a good one. Cowan to Akers. And they're going to look to attack the open side again. Fantasia was blocked. That ball is carried so far. Hollands probably was taken high, and the umpire saw that. It wasn't Hollands. It was not Elijah Hollands. What am I even talking about? Moya. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a very harsh landing. I don't even know who that is. Number 24, Hasty. God, that's a shocking kick out wide. He's centered about 5 meters wide of the target. It will be a boundary throw in about 55 from goal. It looks like the two Hollands boys we're halfway through the first quarter and we have not seen a second of them. So either they are just a little bit allergic to the football, or we're going to see them a lot more in the latter portion of the game. Maybe some midfield minutes for those two. Oh, Ollie's out there. So maybe there's just going to be extended stints and then long breaks. Jagger Smith, I don't know what position he's playing, but he's around the contest now. Could be an interesting watch. Cottrell will kick inside 50. Oh, wow. Simple drop mark. Harry roved it like a small forward. And now the actual small forwards will try to do the work to lock it inside forward 50. That's good pressure by the Blues. Quick hands. And then Jagger was rolled in the tackle. It very easily could have been a push, but the Saints defender well disciplined. And it will be a ball up. 15 minutes gone in this first quarter. We've only had 2 scoring shots. It's been heavily contested. That kick is going to sit up in the air. Moya did well to compete in a 3-on-1, but the mark taken by the Saints defender. And through Hasty, they will kick short again to Brad Hill. I'm actually impressed with my commentary at the moment. I'm producing some fluent commentary. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. The Saints are going to kick to center wing. Off hands. Haynes meets it. It looks like there's a free kick. And Haynes will throw it back to the Saints player. Buy the Blues a little bit of time. Oh, there's a lot of space in the midfield. They've just attacked right through the corridor. But the Blues have a 2-on-1. They don't take full advantage. They spoil it to ground. But the Blues have the numbers at the back of the stoppage. Carroll's going to get taken over the line. And that's the first score for the Saints. It's taken 16 and a half minutes for that to occur. But a good rush there by the Blues. Oh, God, that's a risky kick by Ollie off the rip. Looks like he's playing halfback, which is the role he played at the back end of last year. Hewitt's going to handball it to the overlap runner. And that's a beautiful kick. Just a little bit ahead of the center. Hollands keeps on running and kicks it inside 50. That is elite delivery. And Harry Mackay can line up for his third goal from a set shot. Ollie Hollands, mate. I mean, he butchered or probably went for the wrong option on the kick in, but he followed up 2 or 3 times in that chain. And it got us from end to end in about 30 or so seconds, give or take. So Harry Mackay's gotten some good service from the Blues runners heading inside forward 50. And he's done a little bit of the work off the ball. And he lines up for his third, and he has shanked that one. So first behind for the Blues, 2-1-13. To the Saints, 1 behind. Just a little under 18 minutes gone in the first. That kick's been overcooked. Cripps is there, 55 out. He can kick inside, and he finds George Hewitt, who looks like he's had a little bit of a trim to the point where I nearly couldn't recognize him. So George is going to line up from about 45 out directly in front. It was a good find by Cripps. He could have gone a little bit further out because we had quite a few numbers there. That's what happens when you turn the ball over in that vicinity. The Saints defenders, they won't be able to set up. George Hewitt looks like he's hooked that one left, and that goes over the line and another behind for the Blues. So 2-2-14. Harry's got 2 goals, 1, and we've got a 50-meter penalty here. In case you've missed it, these quarters, there's going to be 4 20-minute quarters plus time on, so basically a normal game. The Saints are going to advance this forward through Wanganeen Millera. I mean, they got a 50-meter penalty off the kick-in, so they've already got it at the half-forward flank. They kick inward. It's dropped by Pitnet. The Saints swarm at ground level. Smith applies the tackle. Hewitt does well. And the Blues have the numbers again. They're looking to attack that open block of space again. Ashton Moyer, the nice relief there. Kicks over the top to Hollands. Loopy hand pass over the top to Smith. He does very well to just pirouette through traffic. However, the kick was a little bit short. It hung up in the wind, but the Saints cough it up immediately. Cottrell could have passed it to Fantasia, but he had an option over the top. It was Williams, and one more over the top to De Koning, who is sitting at the top of the goal square uncontested, and TDK has kicked his first major of the game. And the Blues have 3. That should not have happened. You like the work by Jagger Smith to just... I mean, a lot of players would run in a linear way. They just run straight and they'd find it... Well, they'd make it very easy for them to get chased down, but Jagger Smith did well to sort of let the defenders go by. He slowed play down and, was able to ensure that the Saints were getting possession a little bit, further back. And when they committed the turnover inevitably, we had less space to get it to the top of the goal square. So that's a great bit of play there by Jagger Smith, the rookie. The number 3 pick. I can't believe we had the 3rd pick in the draft. Cripps, straight down from Pitternet. Hewitt with the clearance. It's a shocking kick. It pinballs around the 50-meter line. Bit of volleyball in there as well. Hewitt does well to evade the fend and apply the tackle, but the Saints kick it away, and that is going to be deemed a boundary throw-in. It was a shocking kick. 3-2-20 the Blues. 1 behind the Saints. We're a little bit over 20 minutes into this, or 21 minutes into this first quarter. Time on now. Given there hasn't been a ton of scoring, there's been a few stoppages. I wouldn't imagine this goes beyond 26 or 27 minutes. McRae probably got taken high. Smith applies the tackle, a good tackle, effective tackle. Binns does the same. And we sandwich him into a corner and a boundary throw in. There's quite a few Blues supporters there today. It is an absolute stinker, but it is a weekend. I feel like in the past few years, these games have occurred on a Thursday. So there hasn't been as many people present, but today there is a lot more people available. Steele with a quick hand pass out back. The Blues playing a bit of a defensive structure, so the Saints have their numbers behind the footy as well. Oh, that's a beautiful grab by McGovern. And he doesn't honour Chera in the middle, who was open briefly. That wasn't 15. Binns overcooks the hand pass. McGovern's got to go fetch it. And now he's going to play a very risky pass into the centre of the ground. You don't want to do that on a windy day. And the Saints will get a set shot about 40 or so metres out. That is the Blues getting punished for a very, very careless turnover. It started with Jackson Binns, the poor hand pass that had McGovern under pressure. And he couldn't get back on that right side. He had to kick inward. And if you let those kicks sit up, which is what was required with a kick a target about 35 metres away, was always going to place the Blues at risk of turning that ball over. Butler's going to line that one up, and it hangs in the wind and just makes the distance, even though it is a very, very reasonable spot to kick a goal from. 0-2 to St Kilda. The Blues 3-2-20. Harry's got 2 goals. Tom de Koning has the 1 major. Sard will trigger it back in and give it to Hollands, and the Blues get it much further afield. That's good overlap play, and Jagger Smith is hustling to get to the next contest, and he does well to send Stocker over the line. I'm really, really impressed with Jagger Smith, and I love my analysis pieces. Jagger Smith, you are an early contender, my friend. We haven't had too many high draft picks to rave about in the last few years, but this is a good first look to see how they're using Jagger and how they may actually use him in the regular season. Hollands, Cripps, back to Hollands. He fumbled the ball, but then does well to make amends, and he locks up McRae and sends him over the line. So 24 minutes gone in this opening quarter. The Blues have played a very, very good brand. I think they've done a good job to beat up on the weaker opposition. The Saints have a fair bit of an experience out there, so they're going through the ringer just a little bit. Holland's back at the stoppage, kicks on the right. We'll find de Koning, who was tackled as he was going up, but they didn't call a free kick. It's going to be a boundary throw-in, so de Koning's had a pretty, I think, a much quieter first quarter by his standards. He is now on Zane Cordy, so Harry Mackay on the bench. De Koning's the only tall forward. I'm interested to see how they use Harry Lemmy. We've got no key forwards on our list, so that smaller forward line, it's almost like we're playing small ball in the like how they do it in the NBA. You don't play the traditional center, and just like that, we're not playing the traditional key forward, or we're not playing the traditional 2 key forward setup. Windhager is playing halfback on Jagger Smith right now, so maybe it's a tagging job. I don't know. I think they're just looking to see what he can really do, to be honest. Steele did well to remain composed, even though he hit the deck with ball in hand. Mitch Owens is going to win a free kick. I think he was wrapped up in the marking contest and hindered. But the ball trickled out of play and he had to go fetch it, so now he's got a sea of Blues men to try and navigate through. Instead, he kicks it right into the lap of Nick Haynes, who has been known for that at GWS. That kick hangs in the air. It's a great spoil by whoever the number 45 is, and he kicks it to the top of the square. Oh my God, if they fluff it. They don't. They've kicked a goal, and I think it's Dan Butler at the top of the square. And whoever number 45 is, take a bow. I'm going to go back and see who number 45 is. Liam O'Connell, whoever you are, mate, that's a great bit of work by you. Nick Haynes with the turnover in the back 50. Those little dinky kicks that sit up in the air are not, they're not the kicks. You probably just want to do business with your kicks and not really take any chances, right? Just get the ball clear. I like how we're switching the ball, but that being said, I think with the way they've had their last couple of scoring shots, you do not want to let those kicks sit up in the air. They need to be low dart pierces almost. Boyd is number 31. So he's a rookie. This guy's a rookie. He's an absolute unit if he's a rookie. Playing on Tom De Koning in the ruck. Or maybe he's an SSP signing. Has to be. There's no way a rookie is that much of a brute. Doherty is tackled without the ball, but they've called holding the ball. Don't think he had much time there. Saints get a bit of overlap through Windhager. They'll kick direct. Young drops the mark. Saad there for the mop-up. The Blues have numbers on the open side. They've done a great job of just leaking out into those open spaces the minute we win back the ball in the back 50, and it's really helped our progression forward. McGovern will get the handball receive in the middle of the ground. That was not intended for Mark Pitnet. It was intended for Williams, but it went straight into the lap of Pitto. Williams with a shocking kick. I swear this guy doesn't know how to kick a drop punt half the time. Overshoots the kick, looking for Harry Mackay, who would have had a chance for his third goal should he take the mark. Cripps is playing a bit of forward time, so maybe that could be a little thing to watch as well. Wanganeen Millera is going to kick long downfield as we wind down in this first quarter. Doherty kicks inside 50. Off hands. Wanganeen Millera has had a lot of the footy in the first quarter, and he's been pretty good in possession. And the short pass to Wilson was no exception. And the Saints will look to take the sting out of this first quarter. They trail by 2 goals. Wilson's got it at the halfback flank. Jesus Christ, that was a big fly by Owens, but he didn't take the mark. The Blues kick back into the center. They've got a number on the open side again. And this time, well, it's Binns. That's a very risky kick. How was that not 15? Fantasia just removed his defender, but it's a push out. Mate, these umpires, it's like they haven't skipped a day. They haven't skipped a beat. Some of these calls have been dog shit. Even in preseason, we're getting screwed over. Kicked wide, out of bounds, spoilt over the line by Waitering, who is always a reliable figure. We're nearly 30 minutes into this opening quarter. Nearly 30 minutes in. I didn't expect it was going to travel this long. I guess we've had a lot of stoppage. Little bit of a tie up there at the far side wing. A ball up will follow. So, another ball up, as has been the case many times. De Koning just plucked it away from the opposition, but a kick straight to St Kilda. Ball hits ground level. You can see a few bodies tiring, and that is a very timely quarter time siren. The scoreline is 3-2-20 to 1-2-8 as we reach the second quarter. Sorry to the people who have been trying to talk to me in chat and I haven't said anything. Rebecca, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well. Christian, the same. Danny, welcome. Is Jagger playing? I mean, I've mentioned Jagger's name multiple times. So, Jagger's the guy. He's had a great start to the game. What am I watching it on? I am watching it on KO, my friend. That is where the game is. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We're doing Carlton analysis content. Some of you may be familiar with it. But yeah, make sure to subscribe if you are new, because that is what we will be doing for the course of the season every week, as we usually do, as we have done for the last 2 seasons. But overall, decent-ish first quarter. What the hell? I've been booted off the game. Oh, for God's sake, man. Are we taking the piss? The maximum amount of simultaneous streams allowed. How many streams are open? Oh my God. Are we taking the piss here? Hang on a second. Oh my god. One of the family members is on it for sure. So yeah, quarter time. Harry's kicked 2, TDK's kicked 1, Butler's kicked the only goal for the Saints. I do think I have been very impressed with Jagger Smith off the rip. He doesn't look like a rookie out there, that's for sure. That play to get our third goal, the progression forward, that was very impressive by him to just maneuver out of traffic with a lot of composure. That was not that of a rookie, but that's what you see in his like draft reel, in his like NAB League tape. So, I don't think that's remotely surprising. That's what he's delivered. What was I going to say? Jagger's been good. Main takeaways, I think we've had more of the play, but some of the kickings left a lot to be desired. Well, 2/3 of their scores, they've only had 3 scores, but 2 of their scores have come from turnovers in the back half. That, I mean, it's not rocket science. Don't turn the ball over in your back half. It's not that difficult, is it? So, yeah, I think I'm just trying to think what I've observed so far. We've had Doherty play midfield minutes. We've had Binns play on the wing with Hollands and Cottrell. That's been a running rotation, which I don't think is surprising. I think that's an audition for spots. George Hewitt in the guts, Chera in the guts, Jagger Smith playing high half forward. Who else? De Koning playing forward when Mackay's not on the ground. When Mackay is on the ground and Pitto's on the ground, De Koning's still playing forward. There has been stages in the last couple of years with Charlie Curnow out. That's the lineup we've had to run with, and it has been a little bit questionable at times. Trying to think of some other performers. I think in the back line, we've had Wiedering's done what he usually does. McGovern and Haynes have had good moments intercepting-wise, but kicking-wise, not so much. They've been responsible for those turnovers I've been talking about in the back half. Yeah, that's probably the scope of really how the first quarter's gone. A lot of stoppages. I feel like we've had the upper hand in those, though. We're definitely gaining more territory than they are. Haven't really seen too much small forward presence, though. There hasn't been too much lock-in. I feel like the Saints' rebound out of the back 50 has been a lot easier. Probably needs to improve heading into the second quarter and beyond. But I can only sense these players are going to tire. So, we will just hold and await the second quarter. So, yeah. Not too long before we kick things off. Let me know what your thoughts are from the first quarter. If you have any thoughts. I have a thought. I'd much rather be inside watching this game than outside because it is an absolute stinker out there. I think it's supposed to be 34 degrees today. It's supposed to be 34 degrees today. That is just... I couldn't tolerate it. When I played in like the last game of footy I played competitively, it was like 26 or 25 degrees in September. And I was dying. So these players are very, very fit. And they're able to handle the elements. Saints haven't looked too bad defensively. They've remained pretty firm and sturdy. Only the 20 points conceded. When Harry kicked those first 2, I thought that things were going to get away from St Kilda a little bit. The Blues missed a couple of chances though. But we are about to kick things off in the second quarter. 20-8 the score. Whoops. Alrighty. So who have we got in the guts? Are there any changes? So number 31 for the Saints. Let me get myself a little bit more educated. 31 is Harry Boyd. And apparently he's a rookie. There's just no way. All right. So Pitto in the ruck contest in the middle, surrounded by Cripps, Hewitt, Chera for the Saints, McRae, Steele, and I don't know who that is. Hugo Garcia in the middle. So that's an interesting selection there. The Blues are going to win a free kick out of the middle, though. It's Chera who plays it short to Hewitt. 15-20 away. Kicks long. Long and high. Ball hits the ground. Goes out the back. The Blues don't have the numbers. The Saints are sent further back. And Hill has to swivel around and kick over the shoulder. Across the body. Sard is well tackled by, I believe, Windhager. And the Saints will look to transition quickly, but well, that was short-lived. Ollie Hollands with the intercept and into the middle for McGovern, who can springboard. Looks like there's a 50-meter penalty. Don't really know how they've interpreted that one, but Hollands will have a chance to now, instead of kicking across the ground, he can kick inside the forward 50. Has a look. Top of the square. Oh, I think the wind's carrying a lot further. I don't know. The wind is blustery. It's actually very tough to like gather. Usually there's a favored side, but I can't really. My eyesight's not telling me there is a favored side. We've had a couple stoppages right at the edge of the goal square. So, no scorers of yet in the second quarter, but very deep inside the Carlton 50. Motlop runs onto it, snaps across the body. It's going to hang up in the air, and he's going to kick a beautiful goal. And Jackson Binns did well to protect the space there, because a Saints player would have run onto it, but he applied the shepherd, not on the man, but for the ball, and it allowed Jesse Motlop to get there unattended. That was a very smart block. I don't know if Binns intended it, but it allowed Motlop to accelerate and favor the right side. So that's a really smart bit of play, because otherwise the Saints probably would have gotten onto it. That is the most disgusting looking snap I've ever seen, but the wind works in funny ways, and the Blues have their first major of the second quarter. It's Motlop with his first, and I did say that I haven't really seen too much of the small forwards for impact in the first quarter, so you want to see a little bit more of that in the second, and Motlop does well to kick things off here with the major. McRae just lost the ball. Flung out wide. That handball's overcooked. Sard does well to hit it on the half volley, and then was looking for De Koning, but he just went out of the way. And the Saints, oh my God, misjudged in the air by, I think it was Caminiti. Wangani Millera is playing a superb match. And we've just left him alone again. They could pass it to him. Owens is going to swing round. Oh my God. That wind is a disgusting one. And Cooper Sharman takes the grab. McGovern thought it was going to go a little bit further to his left, but it ended up just getting magnetized to the Saints forward, and Sharman will kick a snap on the left, and he converts truly, and Sharman has his first goal of the game. So a quick response there by the Saints to keep themselves within 2 goals. Let's up that. Okay. So I think it remains to be seen where they're going to get the goals from this year, the Saints. Or for however long Max King is out. No Membry, of course. He's now at the Pies. So they're going to be blooding a fair bit of youth. But it is the Blues leading by 2 goals. A ruck contest here between De Koning and Boyd, and it is going to be a block. De Koning is going to get the free kick. So a couple early frees in this second quarter out of the centre bounce for the Blues. De Koning will kick high. Harry crashed the pack nicely. Good tackle there in the forward line. Saints find an open man. That was well done there by the Saints. Steele has a bit more time to think, but he's kicked it wide. And look, the umpires just got to be a little bit aware to the fact that the gusts are like at 40 kilometers an hour. Like, even on the broadcast, I can tell it is an absolute prick to deal with out there. And that bounce, oh my God, that throw-in pitched about 5 meters away from the line. Now, that should be like 15 meters normally. So, that's what the wind's doing. The Saints win it. Oh, God, they've coughed that one up as well. Straight to Akers. He kicks on the non-dominant left. Wilkie was the spare man at the back of the contest. Wanganeen Miller kicks wide, and that is a gusty... Well, the gusty wind affects it again. Wanganeen Miller involved again, but this time another scrappy kick. Oh! Cowan goes at it really hard. I don't think he got the memo that this is a practice game. That's a great attack on the footy. That's what you want. And the Saints player equal to it as well. So give them both credit. Pitto now back in the ruck contest. Didn't see if there was a change being made. Jagger Smith's going to run onto this one. Oh, that's a great take and a good bit of close quarters work. And he's going to get on the end of it here. And he kicks inside 50 on the right. That's a good kick too. Oh, can't be taken. But the Blues get the crumbs. And then Fogarty didn't hook it across his body enough. That was another beautiful bit of work by Jagger Smith. I'm loving... Like, this guy's already going to be my favourite player because I love watching Zach Butters play. I can already see, like, he looks so similar. Just in the way he moves. It's just very skillful. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Loving what I'm seeing. So it looks like he could be the one off the rip that we analyse, I think. Caminiti drops the footy. We've got a tie up at centre wing. Lead is 13. 8 minutes gone in this second quarter. The ruck contest is equalised. Blues get the footy and look for the man at the back of the stoppage, but there is no winner there. Another boundary throw-in, which means that it could be another questionable throw-in with the way the wind is talking. Pitto and Boyd in the ruck. Another lock-up. We've got a free kick. I don't know what the free kick's for, but the Saints will continue forward. Kick inside 50. Well met by Wiedering. Saints there at ground level. They center the ball, and there's an open man, and I think Jackson Binns was sagging off a little bit. I don't think he expected the ball to land with his direct opponent, but number 45, it's that man O'Connell again. He was a huge player in getting them their first goal, and he could play a direct part in their third goal. He's got a set shot from about 25-30 out, directly in front. Oh, he's actually Irish. Beautiful kick for goal. And the Saints players swarm him. So the Saints bring this to within 6 points. 7 points. 1 goal, basically. So that's their third one. So pretty good response from the Saints in this quarter. They've definitely looked the more threatening side. I think to the left of screen, that is the scoring end. The Blues have had a couple of opportunities of their own. Probably not been as lethal as they would have liked, merciless as they would have liked. Zach Williams is in the guts, so that is maybe that's going to be a part of the midfield rotation this year. I don't know. Cripps trying to win it at ground level. Kick off the ground by the Saints. They've got the footy again. It's Windhager playing off half forward now. Kick inside 50. It's up there. It's at ground level. It's knocked away. The Saints leak out over the back. Butler keeps it alive. Right on the goal line. It's well tackled, but the Saints have the numbers. Good tackle there by Wiedering. Did he push him in the back? No, he did not. It's a ball up. Poof. I don't know how the Saints haven't come away with the score there. Goal or behind. Pitto wins the tap. Straight down to Doherty. Good hands to Akers, who will clear for the Blues. Fogarty will run onto it. Well covered by Burns, and it will go over the boundary line and another throw in. So, man, I feel like this has gone up a notch a little bit. Tap down by the Saints. They go back. God, Burns, that ball got stuck in his hands, and McRae had to go grab a hospital hand pass. It's another ball up. 27-20, the score. In case you've missed it, Harry kicked the first two for the Blues. De Koning's kicked one, and Motlop's kicked the only major for the Blues in this second quarter for the Saints. Butler, Sharman, and McConnell, the Irishmen, have all kicked one each. And that has us where we are right now. Oh, good take there by, I don't know who that was. It was all a blur. It goes inside 50 to the forward pocket. Wiedering nearly took the man high. Binns has to take it. Oh, he's just gotten a boot to it. That could have been holding the ball. And another aggressive tackle by the Saints. That is great forward pressure by Dan Butler at the bottom of it. Another tackle. Applied by... Who's number 40? He's getting around it a bit, and he's got quite a few tats. Max Hall. That tap out goes straight to Brad Hill. McRae's going to kick in on the left, and that kick, well, it's well spoiled by Owens, who was coming into the contest from behind. The Saints off the left, they've kicked another one. I don't know who that is. What is... Hugh Boxshall has kicked the Saints fourth. They've just gotten it to within 1 point. That one was a snap right there. Carlton defense is a little bit under siege at the moment. 4-2, 26 St Kilda. 4-3, 27 Carlton. Saints have definitely looked a lot better. Really just winning in every category, it feels like. I don't think the Blues have really ever been on top in this second quarter. Maybe for the opening couple of centre bounces where they won a few free kicks, but I don't think there's been anything clean in this second quarter out of the centre clearances. So we're going to need to see a Blues response here. No Cripps in the guts now. It's Chera, Hewitt, and Doherty for the Saints. Garcia, Boxshall, and Jack Steele. So the Saints, it's a bit of a youth movement. And they've responded well in this second quarter. That tap goes straight to Garcia, who kicks it forward. It hangs in the air. Hollands with the spoil. Doherty didn't even go for the ball. Great take by Hewitt, who went straight through the contest and took it full stride, and the Blues will... Well, they've got a few numbers. Oh, my God. Jagger. Mate. He nearly got absolutely crunched by his own man. It will be a St Kilda free kick. We nearly had a casualty at Ikon Park. It would have been on the news tonight for murder. Saints have the numbers over the top. They've got an extra man that's leaked out. It's Jack Higgins. And they've got an open man in the pocket as the Blues numbers roll up. Butler looks in the middle and he's gone straight to De Koning. They absolutely stuffed that one up. Because they had the advantage there, but I think that's the Blues' defensive scheme at play. They're happy to give away that extra open man if they're running into the pockets. If they're giving up, yeah, those open looks on really tight angles, because that's a low percentage kick. That one goes top of the square, though, and that won't be low percentage, as the Saints take a grab through Jack Higgins. Don't ask me how he's gotten a grab top of the square. But that's a brilliant low pass, and those are the kinds of kicks that we were telling the Blues to do in that first quarter, because that's exactly how they turn the ball over. If you do those low kicks on the offensive end, they can be very damaging, and Higgins will snap truly, and the Saints have got the lead. They've kicked 4 in a row. They've all been individual goal kickers. So, 4 straight for the Saints in this quarter. They've been very punishing. The Blues only 1 goal won, but it's all happened in the last 5 or 6 minutes. So, Blues have not shown a lot of resistance. We talk about this being a centre clearance type game. I mean, it's been... We've just allowed a little too much here. So... 16 and a half minutes gone. 32-27 the score. The Saints have the lead for the first time today. They didn't kick a score until 16 minutes into the first quarter. A quarter later, they lead. Good tie up there by Doherty at the bottom of it. Tackling Wanganeen Millera, who has been an absolute beast for the Saints. I don't know what the stats are, but he's definitely been one of their most damaging players. Burns. Kicks inward. Going back with the flight was Carroll. He dropped the mark, but did well to compete. Haynes collects. Wiedering smothered on the kick by Cooper Sharman. That's good follow-up work. After the Blues were looking to rebound off that marking contest. So they have definitely gone up a couple gears. The Blues are looking a little bit second rate at the moment. De Koning with the tap. Wanganeen Millera dropped the ball. Wasn't tackled. Saints have the numbers here. Chera will look for the boundary, and that will go over the line. So, 32-27 the scoreline. Saints kick it off the deck, gain 25 metres. Cowan's definitely dragged that in. That would be holding the ball if he didn't get it out, but he did. Goes inside 50. That bounce could be awkward. Carroll does well in the contest, but there's a lot of open Saints players. They find one, and then Higgins overcooks the hand pass. The Blues have a lot of numbers back, but they didn't really use them. That kick sprayed off the side of the boot, but luckily for them, there was a Carlton player. There's no help, though, for the Blues man. I don't know who that was, and he's had to kick straight to the Saints. So, man, that was... Like, Wiedering was on his haunches, and he probably was the relief that the Blues needed. It's a good short pass into Hall for the Saints, number 40. They bomb it long again. It's an outright siege here. De Koning at ground level. Who would have thought that? He should be taking all the grabs. Saints have numbers down the line, but Pitto's done well to bail us out there. We need to move this. We need someone running past for the handball. Why are we leaving Pitto on an island? That kick's gone over the back fortuitously. Motlop can use Cripps. He's got a runner. He goes short instead, and that is a good lead up by Ashton Moyer. He had a lot of space to run into, and he will look to execute a kick from 35 to 40 out on an angle on the diagonal. Look, I thought Motts was going to screw it up, but I thought he wasn't going to use that extra runner and it was going to all go pear-shaped, but did well to hit up the man. That's what you practice in training for. Moyer will line this up, and he's absolutely sprayed the crap out of it. And that is a behind. And usually you lose a bit of shape when you're kicking into the wind, and I feel like Moyer was a victim of that. So the Blues trail by 4 points. Only the one goal for Carlton in the quarter. Compared to the Saints, 4 straight. They've been highly opportunistic. Ball goes back. McGovern short into Hollands. He'll go further back to Chera. Excuse me. Blues will look to just take a bit of sting out of the game as they've been a little bit shell-shocked in this quarter. Blues are looking to attack the open side, and Akers is the next man in the chain. But there's not much doing downfield. There's no one leading at the football or calling for it. So the Blues will look to change the angle again, and they will go back down the side that they just entered from. It's Haynes. The next man is... I don't know who that is, actually. But the Blues do well. Oh, that's a great kick to Chera. That is actually really impressive by the Blues. Because they started from the far side, they worked their way to the near side, and then saw that nothing was doing, and they went back down the far side with a bit of switching, and were able to find a little gap of space that the Saints hadn't accounted for. And Adam Chera, who I feel like his kicking was shocking last year, to be completely honest. He definitely wasn't playing at an acceptable level, or the level we needed him to play at. However, he has kicked a beautiful goal. Umpire barely needed to move. Apparently, that wasn't enough for the cameraman, who had nearly lost the football in flight. But the Blues kick their second major of the quarter. They retake the lead and are up 5 goals, 434 to 5 goals, 232 for St Kilda. So this has been a pretty decent response by the Blues. That's an impressive bit of play. I don't think I've seen that enough from a Blues team. The connection of short kicks to be able to find the open man and shift the Saints defense. 22.5 gone in this second quarter. I wouldn't suspect this quarter's going to go longer than 30 minutes. Feels like we've been a little bit less stoppage heavy in the quarter. So, looks like we're going to get a redo on the ball up. Knocked down, knocked into space. Wangani Miller got a hand to it. Bodies collide. Open man is Ryan Burns, who will kick on the left. Short pass, well spoiled by Mitch McGovern right in front of the interchange. So we'll get a reset on the near side at centre wing. Cripps, Chera, and George Hewitt all around the footy for the Blues. So is Matt Cottrell. Somehow lands in the lap of Cripps. Sard off the back of the stoppage with that rebound. Long kick on the left. Williams did well in the one-on-one, but the kick was not to the intended target. It was a little bit right of Williams. He had to go collect it, and he ended up out of bounds with the football in hand. So a throw in. De Koning will take it out of the ruck. Motlop was probably held. Motlop gives it back to De Koning. Why are you giving it to a ruckman in that contest? Well smothered by the Blues. Williams tries to shrug the tackler, but Stocker is a very strong boy, and he is probably not going to get removed in that situation. So Pitto will do the ruck duties. Motlop at ground level. They were looking for him. It went to Wanganeen Millera. Jagger Smith with good attack on the footy. Sard is there as well. Akers is brought to ground by two Saints players. Butler and Jack Steele. So nearly 25 minutes played in this second quarter, closing in on the end of the first half. Akers does well to shrug off multiple Saints players. Kicks inside 50. Knocked to ground by Pitnet. Saints clear again. And they find the relieving option in Cooper Sharman. He's going to need to wait for Saints players to leak out. Wilkie will find the option that has leaked out. It's Darcy Wilson, who of course has a very good tank. But that's a shocking kick, and it's gone out of bounds. What? They've called that in the back. I thought that was in the side. I reckon Cottrell's a little bit stiff there. He did a lot of good work to chase down Wilson and play him on the wrong side. That's another shocking kick by Wilson. We've got to capitalize on this. We have the numbers, but that... Oh, my God. Handball wasn't clean, and the Saints instead will go the other way like they have the numbers. Long kick inside 50. There's an open man. Sharman took it off Higgins, and then he's tried the inside out, and it's gone to Butler in the opposite pocket. Usually those kicks are going out on the full if you butcher it like that, but the wind is doing special things today. Man, it really could have gone either way in that sequence. The Blues probably should have capitalized for that shocking Wilson kick. Oh my God. Lewis Young takes a mark. Inside the goal square, hands it over to Wiedering after we get the intercept possession. Cottrell out wide, walking a tightrope on the boundary line. Will kick short now to Fogarty. 26 and a half gone now. I wouldn't say there's too long left in this second quarter. It may push the 30-minute mark again down the line. Wanganeen Millera takes the grab. Paid the mark to Koning. Unable to spoil the man. God, Wanganeen Millera has to have upwards of 20 already. He is a bit of a possession farmer, but he has quite a lot of good possession too. Knocked down in the marking contest. Good pressure by the Blues. Multiple bodies on the ground. That was definitely high off the ball, but the players didn't pay it. Cowan does well to roll off the man and then ran out of tarmac. It will be a throw-in. Good attack on the footy by Lockie Cowan. He just looks primed up this year. I mean, he actually, he looks so built in comparison to his rookie season. Pitto. Saints at ground level. That probably could be called a push. It wasn't. What the hell was that for? I don't understand how that's a free kick. I don't even know what the free was for. Saints are going to get the free, though. They're going to kick it central, and they're going to test out Fogarty, who is not supposed to be there. The Saints have the footy 40 out. They snap it across the body. One-on-one in the goal square. It's off hands, and it will be rushed over the line by Jackson Binns. And it is back down to a 1-point margin. 5 goals 4 to 5 goals 3. That's the first behind, believe it or not, of the quarter for the Saints. Adam Sard will kick in. Takes a bounce. Kicks on the left. No woofs today. Saints try to evade in traffic. Do well. Brad Hill with a rugged kick. Oh my God, the Blues overcooked that kick at halfback as well. We saw this in the first quarter. Saints can capitalize. Numbers converge. Cripps is going to kick off the deck out wide to Akers, who does well there. Uh-oh. Sard is down, ladies and gentlemen. Sard is down, and I have no idea what has happened, but the camera is going to go straight back onto Adam Sard. And he looks very, very sore, but he's trying to wave the trainers away. I don't know if he got caught or just took a knock. Let's have a look. What the hell's happened there? Did he just get winded? I've got no idea. Or maybe he got a little corky in the quad or something like that. I don't know, but... yeah, well, that's where he's holding. So I would suspect that he's just been... I would just suspect that he's been hit in a little bit of a... in a little bit of an awkward spot. That is half-time, though. Right on 30 minutes. It looks like they're just playing 30-minute quarters, I think. But Adam Sard is okay. He's limping. He's limping. He's okay. Oh, well, not as much now. He's walking it off. I think it's just a corky. But that is the halftime break. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're doing Carlton analysis all year round, as we've done the year before and the year before that. So make sure to tune in, because you don't see it anywhere else on AFL YouTube. So, that is going to be me for the season. But these watch-alongs do not happen all that often. So make sure to make the most of it. Because I'm too busy making videos during the week and not streaming the games. You've got plenty of other watch-along people that you can tune into. Whoops, I didn't add one behind for the Saints. So 5-3-33. Good response in the second quarter by the Saints. They scored 4 goals, 1 as opposed to the Blues. The Blues 14 points, 2-2. If we go through the goal kickers for the first half, Harry kicked the first 2 of the game, 2 goals, 1 to be exact. TDK kicked our third. And then the goals in the second quarter came from Jesse Motlop with a snap and Adam Chera from a set shot for St Kilda. They got a goal from Butler in the first quarter, courtesy of a turnover by Nick Haynes. And then you've got Cooper Sharman, Liam McConnell, who I think is... wow, I'm losing my voice. Liam McConnell, who is an Irishman. Boxshall, who is their rookie, and Jack Higgins. His goal gave the Saints the lead, but Chera responded. And yeah, that is basically the wash-up from the first half. In that second quarter, I do feel like we probably got dominated just a little bit too much for my liking. If I had to look at key takeaways, I'm just trying to think of... Look, the midfield is an interesting one, because in the second quarter, we were getting run over. Like, Cripper really went missing. Hewitt... who else? Hewitt and Chera, I don't think they had an impact. Tom De Koning even has been well negated by this rookie, Harry Boyd, for St Kilda, who's playing ruck because there's no Rowan Marshall today. For the Saints, they've gone in with a pretty inexperienced team, but I guess that, you know, allows for some good exposure. And this Boyd guy for the Saints, he's been very good in ruck. And I would expect him to play out the game. Players that we haven't seen for the Blues in the second half, or which we should expect to see in the second half. Let's go through. So we have seen Cowan, Motlop, Hollands, Cheras, William Smith, Fogarty, Cripps, Mackay, McCoven, De Koning, Akers. Fantasia we haven't seen yet. Oh, wait, have we seen him? No, we have seen him. What am I talking about? We have not seen Brody Kemp yet. So the writing is on the wall. He is playing key forward in the second half, I think. Unless we're playing him in the back line and Nick Haynes only played a half. We haven't seen Corey Durden yet, so I would imagine one of Fantasia or Fogarty is probably going to get rest. Elijah Hollands hasn't played. Lucas Camporelli hasn't played. I don't know who's the better one out of the brothers. Is it Ben or Lucas? I think it's Ben. But Ben's picked up an injury. Harry Lemmy hasn't played. Cooper Lord is going to get midfield minutes. I think that's a given. Those are the only ones that haven't played. So we've only got Cooper Lord, Harry Lemmy, Camporelli, Hollins, Durden, and Kemp. Only 6 players have not played. So we're going to see those guys in the second half. And those players are no slouch. They're players that have played in the league before, except for maybe Lemmy and Camporelli. That's it. So we're getting a fair bit of experience out there today. But yeah, that is the situation. As we head onwards into the third quarter, what are your thoughts and takeaways out of the first half? Takeaways out of the first half. What do you expect to see from this team this year? And what are you excited about, or what do you think's going to happen in this season? People in chat, interested to hear what you have to say. Because, God, this football club is going to be a very, very intriguing watch this year. I mean, I look at the standings and you can actually see the 2024 ladder there. Fremantle, Essendon will drop away. Collingwood, Fremantle. Who were the other teams that didn't make the 8? Adelaide are always talked up, but I swear they're frauds. Gold Coast are another team. They need to clean up their away form if they're to be considered as a legit side. But you could make a case for at least Fremantle and Collingwood and probably the Suns. I don't think the D's are going to make it in. I think they'll drop away a bit, potentially. But you look at those teams and you're like, who the hell makes way? And when I look at the top 4, well, Port Adelaide are probably one of the teams you look at, but they finished second last year. They're always a good regular season team. But they've got a weird situation going on with Josh Carr as the succession strategy after Ken Hinkley this year. So what are they actually aiming for this year? Are they preparing for a season which could potentially involve a stinker season? I don't know. But you look at them, you look at like, I don't know, a Sydney. How are they going to respond without Longmire at the helm? Longmire at the helm. Because that's a pretty decent shake-up after you lose the grand final. Like, you made it very far. You were the clear number 1 team for the whole season. So how are they going to respond? Is there going to be a drop-off? Hawthorn, are they going to experience like a sophomore slump? And last season was actually fraudulent because they started the season very poorly and almost had a Carlton-like season. They very much had a Carlton-like season last year where they made the semi-final and played off in a close game and probably were stiff to not make it because James Sicily hit the post, if you remember. So even the Bulldogs, they're a confusing team as well. They were 14-9 last year, but like they've got all these good players, but they can never put it all together consistently. And they always get knocked out in the final series. So, yeah, there's just, I think they're very much an enigma, really. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting to see which teams end up making the top 8, I think. The Blues have got a very good fixture, though. I don't think... Look, I think it's already been discussed multiple times over, but looking at the fixture for the Blues, let's have a quick look. And I've just got to keep a watch to make sure that I don't miss the start of the third quarter. So we've got Richmond, the Hawks, the Dogs, the Pies. I think we play West Coast and North twice. We do. We play the Pies twice. I think we play the Hawks twice. Do we play... We play Essendon twice. I think we play Freo twice. Maybe. No. Do we play a Richmond or someone like that? Or a St Kilda? Don't think we do. I think we play Port twice. We do play Port twice, and we play them twice in about 7 weeks. So that could be... I mean, there's going to be some interesting ones in there, but like if you look at those double-upped fixtures, Port, Hawthorn, Collingwood, West Coast, North, you finish top 2 if you win every single one of those. If you're a good legit team, Essendon also in that mix. Like Essendon didn't make the 8. Collingwood didn't make the 8. West Coast didn't make the 8. North didn't make the 8. That should be 8 teams right there that you beat. We can never seem to crack it against Collingwood. Ever. We only did it once in 2023. Last year we didn't do it at all. We lost twice. Yeah. So if you beat all those teams, Essendon we should be beating twice. We should be beating West Coast twice. We should be beating North Melbourne twice. That is already half of your wins that you need to get to make, I don't know, 17 wins? And 17 wins last year would have had you top of the ladder. So if you're an aspiring team, like if you're a team aspiring to win the flag, that is what you need to be doing. You need to be beating these lowly opponents, or opponents that are not as good as you, or on paper they're not as good as you, or at least in your vision, you're a contending team. All these teams should be lower than you, echelon-wise. So if we can beat every single one of those opponents we double up on, and then Port Adelaide, Hawthorn, look, if you can beat those guys, at minimum, you need to split it. You need to at least split those games. And by that, I mean win 2 of your 4 matches against them. If you can win 3 of them, that also goes a long way. So you're talking, well, what do we say? Collingwood, Essendon, North, West Coast, that's 8. And then you win 3, that's 11. That leaves you with 12 teams to pick up 6 wins. And look, if you're a legit side, you should be going at better than 50% anyway. So at that point, you should be winning 17, 18 games. And then you've got to allow a bit for a potential like drop away at some point. But if you break it down like that, it should be you destined for the top 8 or top 4 at least, top 2 even. But it's not that straightforward with Carlton. And you know, like it's usually we go into a game on paper and we look like shit in real life because some of these players are doing things that they shouldn't be doing. To put it simply, I could be here all day talking about potential faults in the Carlton system, and that's sort of why I have the reservations about them, but it definitely is, yeah, that's why I say we could either finish top 2 or like bottom half, because those double ups right there, those are the games. If we can't win those games, then we're going to be picking up 10 wins at minimum, or 10 losses at minimum, sorry. And that last year, well, that just had us pitching inside the 8. But there were a lot of teams breathing down our neck. I mean, we picked up 52 points, but we had Essendon on 46, and we had 14th, 2 wins away. So if 12th and lower are a little bit worse, then these teams in 9 to 11, as you can see on your screen, could pick up a few more wins, and that could have us left in the dust, for sure. So I think that's... when you break it down like that, it is a lot more achievable than... or it's a lot more achievable, but in theory is always better than how things actually work out. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to let me know and drop a like on the stream. It really helps out. So, and also on top of that, subscribe if you want to see the Carlton analysis piece for this. I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm going to do them as long as I did last year. Like, I was doing 17-minute pieces. I think the test for me this year is going to be making these videos a lot more bite-sized. And I'm talking 8 to 13 minutes. Because, like, I did them very much in depth last year. And so that takes a lot out of your week, and that took a toll. So, you know, doing that for 24 weeks, I think I got burnt out in like the 6th or 7th week. So it's about trying to make it fun to make. You know what I mean? Because there's such a long process, and it's not effective. Because the AFL make it a pain in the ass to produce, in terms of having to bypass copyright and all this. Those who are here at the stream, I do appreciate you being here, by the way. It's been a pretty good turnout. I mean, not as big as previous years because more people are covering the game and it is on a Saturday, so more people can just turn on KO. Like if I do one, I'm going to do one Google search or YouTube search, and I reckon there's multiple people watching. Well, my stream comes up. Does another stream come up? So my stream, and then there's Poms, and he's always going to get more people because he's just got more watchers. So, or he's just got more viewers, should I say. So that, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's not really surprising at all. But I guess if you want something that's a little bit less like Baraka-like, this is probably the better stream. I don't know. Okay. So, God, they are taking a long time with this fucking halftime break. It's bordering on about 20 minutes now. I don't know how long the halftime break is, but yeah, I don't know. So, in case you missed it, as I said, goal scorers, we've only had single goal kickers, except for Harry Mackay, who kicked the first 2 of the game. TDK, Motts and Chera with a goal each. For St Kilda, Butler, Sharman, McConnell, Boxall, and Higgins with a goal each. The Blues did not play 6 players in the first half. They didn't play Kemp, Durden, Camperelli, Elijah Hollins, and we also have not seen Harry Lemmy or Cooper Lord. So I'd imagine, like, I think the most interesting one is going to be Harry Lemmy and Brody Kemp, because Harry Lemmy's played backline, Kemp's played, well, he played forward at the back end of the season last year out of necessity. And then you've got, like, because I don't know if they said in the offseason Kemp was playing forward or JSOS was playing forward, or they put Kemp forward and they put JSOS back. I don't remember what that discussion was. But so we've got that little discussion there, which will be an interesting point in the second half. Elijah Hollands, is he going to play midfield minutes or half forward minutes? Cooper Lord, I assume he's going to play in the guts. So who is going to be put on ice for the rest of the game? I would assume Doherty may be that guy. And then you've got Camporelli. I don't even know what type of player he is. He is a midfielder, so maybe they're going to give him a chance in the guts. And Durden is pretty obvious with, you know where you're going to play him, small forward, because he's under 180 centimeters tall. So, verging on my height, basically. So, players like Corey Durden make me feel like I can play in the AFL, but then then I actually play football and I realize I'm so far off it. But it looks like we're going to get the second half underway very, very promptly. I just watched Jason Dunstall and Ben Dixon play pickleball with Andrew Gaze for, or was it squash? No, it was pickleball, for like 20 minutes. And immediately we're back into it. Let's have a look at who's in the middle. Cooper Lord's in the middle. To no one's surprise, it's Doherty, Chera, and Lord in the guts. So maybe Cripps is being put on ice. They've gone inside 50 very quickly. Sard is back out there, so he's perfectly fine and he's shrugged off the injury. Durden's out on the field. Jagger Smith. Oh, that's a beautiful handball, but it was a hospital hand pass. That was so slick. So slick by Jagger Smith. Jesus Christ. Very, very impressive. All right, looks like we've got another lock up there. So Lord is playing on Jack Steele. And we did get some Lord midfield minutes when we played St Kilda in round 24 last year. So it's almost like we're going back to where it all ended. Ball up. Another lock up. So a bit of physicality early in the second half. Saints have got McRae. McRae Steele. Boyd is still playing ruck minutes. Stocker running off the half-back line will send them inside forward 50. Kick to the advantage of Owens. He can keep it alive. Oh my goodness, that nearly was dreamlike. It actually was out of play before he kicked it. So they'll get a bit of relief because that was going to be Carlton footy, courtesy of a behind being scored. Deep inside, the Saints attacking. 52 minutes gone here in this second half. Caminiti in the ruck discarded pit net. No one won the ruck contest and no one won it at ground level. Caminiti handballed it to himself. It's a good tackle by Pitnet, who has the arms pinned. Another ball up for Saints and the Blues. And we've got a blood rule. And I think it's Lewis Young. Who I think is either hurt on the nose or hurt on the hand. I've got no idea. So I don't know who's going to come onto the field. This is going to be very telling because Young is, of course, a key position. So is it going to be Lemmy or is it going to be Brody Kemp or is it going to be Nick Haynes? I don't know. Let's have a look. It is... Let me have a look. I think it's Haynes. So maybe Lemmy's playing key forward. DeConing's still out there. I'm just trying to get a view of... Well, they've only got one camera for these KO streams. I want to see if there is Harry Mackay sitting deepest forward, or is it Kemp? Or is Kemp playing the third key? We've had a couple tackles here at centre-half back for the Blues. It's been played largely at the Saints' end. Jagger Smith gets it at the front of the stoppage, hands it out to Akers, who is the support runner. Kicks long into space. There is absolutely no one that was being aimed for there. Harry Mackay is still on the ground, so... Have not seen any side of Harry Lemmy or Brody Kemp as of yet. Even though they were both named with the squad. Durden is out there. And so is Cooper Lord. DeConing kicks to the top of the square. Mackay's there. Oh, that's a great spoil there by number 34, whoever the hell that is. 54, should I say. Why is Stocker wearing number 54? First rushed behind of the day, I believe, for the Blues. They lead by 2. That's the first point of the quarter. Taken a little bit quicker than the first quarter. It took quite a bit of time for both teams to get registered on the score sheet. Saints get it to centre wing. Hall will kick down field. Arm chop there by Cowan on Caminiti. He moves it quickly to the top of the square. The Blues are out positioned. It's a good spoil by Binns, but a beautiful rove by Sharman, and top of the square to McConnell, who kicks his second major, and the Saints lead by 4 points. Their 6th of the game. First goal of the half. And that is a beautiful rove. Higgins got absolutely crunched, and I would assume that is a corky as well. Hollands and Binns in a marking contest deep inside your defensive 50. I'm not really sure how that's happened. But Saints are playing some good footy. After quarter time, they started pretty slowly, but they've now eased into the contest quite well. And that is why they find themselves in a leading position right now. Who is number 34? Hugo Garcia. 38 is Boxshaw. Okay. Got it. Durden's already got an ankle problem and he's been out there for 5 minutes. So he's getting a little bit of work done by the doctors. Meanwhile, play resumes. Harry Mackay's in the ruck. Bit of a strange one. Cleared by the Saints. Another clearance for them. Another forward 50 entry. Saints wanted it more. They're going to run onto it and there's another goal. And it's Hall. A mid-season draft pick. Okay. He kicks his first major. And the Saints are up by 10, a game high. That's just simple clearance work. Hit the empty space. Attacked better by Caminiti. Quick hand pass. And I think Hall came from the centre clearance. And so 7 goals, 3 for them. They've been far more clinical in front of goal than the Blues have. And look, I thought it was the scoring end to the left of screen, which seemed to occur in the first half. But in the second half, the Saints have kicked the first 2 majors. They didn't even do that in the first quarter. It took them 16 minutes to get a score. So they lead by 10. Oh, Jesus Christ, that could have been nasty. Boyd has gone with a pretty rash kick there. And apparently was kicking in danger, which I think is actually a little bit questionable. That's a good kick to Fantasia. I don't know how he didn't mark that. He was able to follow it all up in one motion, but was tackled by Wanganeen Miller, who's been quieter in this third quarter, mainly because the ball hasn't even been up the end. Oh my God, what the hell was that? It's going to be St Kilda ball. From the ruck contest of halfback, Webster barely touched the footy. Kicks wide. Saints through Wilson at the halfback flank. That is a long kick. It carries over the back. McGovern will collect and then duck the head. Saw Butler and Caminiti closing down and was able to win the free. Blues will switch the play again. Cowan's going to kick short to Lewis Young. Young short into Matt Carroll. I think he's been all right today. God, that is a shocking kick off the side of the boot. Cowan, I mean, that's awkward for him. They didn't call it high. Cowan's done really well there to even it out at best because we were absolutely screwed for numbers over the back. But the Saints will win a free kick courtesy of a high tackle. Or a hold. Saints get it to about 60 out. Right on the boundary. It's Hall who kicked the last Saints major. Going to kick inside 50. Good spoil by McGovern. But Brad Hill is the only one in about 15 metres of space. He has time to collect, hand it to Steele. They go further back out to Zane Cordy. Kicks to the top of the square. It's gone over the back. No one read that. And guess who was wanting it more? The Saints. But unfortunately, bit stiff there. McRae misses with the snap. That's exactly what happened with Fogarty in the second quarter. The same result. Same side of the post. So, look, the Blues have looked very ropes at ground level in the defensive 50. I feel like they're missing Nick Newman a little bit. There's a reason he's been in the top 3 or 4 for seasons on end in the best and fairest. McGovern downfield. Harry doesn't take the grab. Hits ground level again. And another good lock up there by Jack Steele and Jimmy Webster. Carlton small forwards have been well locked down in this game today. Only the one goal from the smalls of the Blues. Bit of ping pong here. Bit of back and forth. It's reached the half forward line of the Saints again. Another boundary throw in. So, another boundary throw in. Tapped down by Pitternet. Looks like we've got another free kick for the Saints. Man, they have dominated us in this quarter. We really haven't had a sniff. I mean, Cripps makes a difference. Not really in that second quarter, though. Another kick inside 50. Top of the square again. Wiedering was pushed out. And Wiedering is a very sore boy. Still slow to get up. Butler almost would have taken the grab. Wiedering is limping. What a fucking surprise that is. I swear every game he's limping. That's a very fortuitous clearance for the Blues. It's gone straight to the Saints. They are locking us in here. Inside there, like 80 meters to goal, we cannot find an exit. These rushed kicks out of our defensive 50 are going straight to them. That kick into the forward pocket was well contested by McRae. A tackle by Lord. It could have been high. Saints somehow have a clean hand pass at ground level. It's tied up by the Blues. Lewis Young and McGovern at the bottom of the pack. Holding up Mitch Owens. Or should I say it was Caminiti? Pitternet just allowed Caminiti to run onto it. Butler wasn't able to gather possession of the ball. Another ball up here. Knocked down. Oh, that is... Holy shit. Another clean tap down to another Saints player, resulting in a score from forward 50 stoppage, however, only of the minor kind. 7-5-47 to 5-5-35. Blues have only kicked a behind in the quarter. probably fortunate to not be punished and have conceded more. Hewitt is going to need to wait a little bit. He's going to kick to a long pack here. With, like, just a small observation as Lord handballs over his head. The Blues may have a chance to do something here, but nope. It's well shunted by the Saints, and they will get forced over the boundary line. Another throw-in. But the space we're operating in, it is very well dwindled. Like, it seems like we were moving a lot more fluently in the opening quarter. What the hell was that throw-in? It's gone like 15 meters away of where the umpire was. In the Saints' direction, so it looks like the wind is swerving that way. Working in all sorts of ways. But yeah, it just feels like we're back to that really unenticing attacking type of play. Really rushed kicks, shocking disposal, slow down the line sort of thing. Cooper Lord's going to go short into De Koning. He's 55 meters out. He won't have the leg because of the wind, so he just sits it up top of the square. That's a great kick. Good spoil by Wanganeen Millera. It would have been a nailed-on mark for Harry Mackay if it wasn't for that spoil. Wilkie is closed down well. Moya just dropped the ball. Cowan's in there as well. Cottrell finds a dead end, and it will be a ball up. About 45 meters out from goal in the Blues 50. This has been this hasn't occurred all too often in this third quarter. That's for sure. Motlop, good rove off the ruck contest. Harry can run onto this if he wants to. It's just swirled in the air, and yet again, it's caused problems for whoever's trying to mark that ball. And the Blues have aimed for the boundary, or the Saints have aimed for the boundary. And it is now out of play. A deliberate out-of-bounds call. So the Blues will look to lock it in their forward half. Saints are denying the switch quite well, so McGovern can only go down the line. You want to see a few more short passing options, and there's one of them. It's Matt Carroll who takes the grab. Little short pass. He'll swerve around onto the left. Kicks inside 50. Harry's there, tries to take it with one hand. That was never going to work. But a 50-50 results in a stalemate, and it will be a ball up about 20 out from goal. De Koning tries to take it out of the ruck. He just did it all. Kicked it high and long, and spoilt over the line by the Saints. So another behind for the Blues. They're really just struggling to score at the moment, the Blues. Nothing clean, and this is a typical St Kilda game, right? Defensively, they were one of the better teams in the whole league. However, it's their offense that leaves a lot on the table. So, Blues have struggled in that respect. Unsurprisingly, after quarter time, haven't even doubled their score. And we've had a quarter and a half elapse. McRae, in the back pocket, will kick under a little bit of pressure. And Lewis Young does well to take the grab. You got to switch that quickly. Lewis Young he has not done that. And instead, he kicks it down the line to a contested player, which was Jagger Smith, but he did well. And it goes over the top. It was a hospital kick to Cooper Lord, but he's done well to overcome the pressure. However, the kick inside 50 was poor. Jesse Motlop was right there. That was another good bit of work by Jagger Smith, who did well under a lot of pressure. Was able to make the best out of a bad situation, but didn't result in anything too beneficial for Carlton. So, God, that's a very easy clearance out of the back 52. However, that kick into the middle hovered in the air for quite some time. The Saints still have the ball. You got to lock it up. Smith does well. Fogarty's in there. Moya tries to meet the ball, but the Saints have the numbers on the side of the stoppage where the ball was. It's a good spoil by Binns. But how is the ruckman leaking out? And Brad Hill is doing the same. A short pass into Sharman. And the Saints are 45 metres out. And with the wind, this kick will carry. For sure. So Sharman's going to line up. Man, the Blues had a couple opportunities there. But the kicking, as I said, has not been clean. And it's why Jagger Smith is a breath of fresh air. Because this guy is almost instantly the best player for like poison cleanliness. We don't have a player like that on the roster. De Koning takes a mark. It didn't actually carry, surprisingly. Mark taken on in the goal square. And the Blues will look to rebound, but not with a lot of punch. That kick was nearly intercepted. That's a shocking handball by McGovern. It's forced Hollands to get it, but he's done well. He took too long, though. And did well for only so long. Sharman kicks wide to Hill. He got a lot of space. Hill fakes the kick, and he's going to gain a few meters and spray it wide. So the Saints leaving a few points on the table right now, leading by 2 goals, but have been highly inaccurate in the quarter after a great second quarter in front of goal. 4 goals, 1. They've kicked 2 goals, 3 in the quarter, despite having a massive amount of dominance. The Blues have not scored a goal, though, so that is why the lead sits at 2 goals the margin. 48-36. And I have not updated the Carlton goal scorers for a very long time. It would be great if we could just get a bit of flow to our game and hit up some simple kicks inside 50. Moya does well to interrupt. Hewitt does well at ground level. Mark dropped. Motlop with a quick hand pass. Almost could have been deemed a throw. De Koning punches it forward into space. Cottrell's there in the goal square. He's been quiet. Ends up with it again. The Blues doing well. Motlop dropped the knees. And I think he's getting a free kick. So that's what small forwards do. Definitely sensed the situation and knew that he could probably milk it if he was just able to portray the fact that he was gathering the football, which he was. And so Motlop will line up to cut the lead to a single goal heading into, well, we've already exceeded into time on, but as we close in on the end of the third quarter, that is a brilliant looking kick, and that is the Carlton Blues' 6th. Motlop, the second multiple goal scorer for the Blues. He's kicked 2. So 48-42 the scoreline, and the Blues have kicked their first of the quarter. I tell you what, they've only gotten outscored by 7 points in the quarter, but it has felt like a lot more. If I had to do a time in forward half split, I'd say it's about like 80-20 or 75-25 the way of the Saints. So for us to be outscored 2 goals to 1, that's surprising. Interesting watch also, Lucas Camporelli is in the game now. He is playing on the wing. Jagger Smith is also in the middle with Cooper, Lord, and Chera. That's another interesting watch. 48-42 the score, though. 22 minutes gone in this third quarter. De Koning with a beautiful pirouette out of traffic to get the clearance. Blues making a late quarter rally. That goes out of bounds, though. About 40 out from the Blues goal on the far side forward pocket. So I'm pretty sure these quarters are going to 30 minutes each. So 22 and a half gone. We've got about 7 and a bit minutes to play. De Koning tried to take it out of the ruck again. It landed with Fantasia. Quick hands out to Motlop, who's done well in traffic. He just found space where there wasn't any. He was looking for Camporelli on the far side. The kick was off the side of the boot, though. The Saints have it. It is close quarters footy. The Saints get it out, but the Blues have a defensive setup. It's Matt Carroll who mops it up for the Blues and will kick wide to Haynes, who has not seen a lot of footy in this third quarter. Got a short option. Hollands did not honour that. He's going to go longer inside 50. We have no representation there. Harry Lemmy is on the ground and he is playing key forward. So I think Harry Mackay's day may be done. So is Brodie Kemp going to play forward? Is my question. De Koning cleaned up the man downfield, or while he was kicking it, and they've called a downfield free, which is fairly frustrating because you've just allowed the Saints to get possession guaranteed upfield, and now the Saints can slowly work their way forward with short passes as they've done evidently on multiple occasions. Ryan Burns goes short. It's a Windhager. Gonna go longer. High kick. De Koning. Good grab. Good intercept grab. We need to switch and move quick. God, those crossfield kicks are killing us, man. Akers has got to fetch that as well. The wind is proving to be difficult. Doherty is closed off into a corner. And that is great defensive work by the Saints. The minute that kick hit grass, we were in a fair spot of bother. 48-42 the score. Closing in on the final 5 or so minutes of this third quarter. Tap down. Kick inside 50 quickly by the Saints. We've got an extra man. And it's... Oh my God. We've... Fuck's sake, man. Butler plays the advantage and he scores the goal. He's kicked his second of the game. And the Saints get the lead back up to 2 goals the margin. 8-6. To 6-6. Where the fuck is the free? Have they called that a hold? I don't know what they've called that as. I just want to see the replay on this. Is it a hold? What? Maybe it was on Lewis Young off the ball. I've got no idea what that was for. So the lead is 2 goals. Jaggers getting these midfield minutes, which I like. Binns is now on the near side wing, so I don't know where Camporelli's playing. Hewitt, Lord, and Smith in the guts. Won again by the Saints. Good block by Boyd to free up Wanganeen Millera. They kick inside 50. That was nearly taken there by Sharman. Higgins tackled. That is holding the ball every day of the week, and they have not called it. There's no way you call that deliberate. Thank you. That's an incredibly stiff moment there because that should have been holding the ball. 26.5 gone. Third term. 54-42 the scoreline. De Koning in the ruck contest. Won by Boyd. Lord does well to keep the feet. De Koning with the clearance. He's kicked it straight to Hasty. But it was that much of a bullet. It bounced off his chest and the Blues have the numbers. And, oh my God, please pass it off. Camporelli. Oh, that's a great spoil by Wilson. And Wanganeen Millera finds his way out of trouble. Not 15, though. They get it out of the 50. And walking a tightrope, they keep it alive. That is beautiful defensive work. Another not 15. Wanganeen Millera takes the grab. And the Saints will settle. Man, the Blues had the numbers. They just were so nonchalant with it. Camporelli, I mean, he probably hasn't had a touch in the game yet, but that'll definitely wake him up as the Saints kick this one out on the full, kicking out a defensive 50. Like, you know, probably a more senior player actually goes to the football, but Camporelli waited for it, and that just opened the window of opportunity for the Saints to spoil that one. Ball hits ground level. There are no small forwards present. Like, where are the smalls at? We say this way too often with Carlton teams, man. The small forward situation is a fucking problem. Goes out of bounds again. Another boundary throw in. 54-42 score. We're closing in on the final couple minutes. Throw in. Easy tap down to McRae, who was just unattended at that stoppage. And it looks like it's going out of bounds. So 54-42, this third quarter winding down. The Blues were in control for much of the first quarter and a little bit into the second, but the Saints kicked 4 straight in the second quarter to bring it within, inside a goal. And holy shit, who's being decked? Jagger Smith got crunched and he is limping quite badly, actually. He's been really impressive, Jagger. But he is a very sore boy, and he is going to come to the bench. The worst part about that is he is on the far side wing, so he's got a long way to run. Blues will not be looking to concede in this next bit of time. Smith is still very, very ginger. With a minute left, I think they're just going to want him to play this one out. Can De Koning take a grab? He can! And the Saints did not block his run and jump. I mean, he didn't actually have to jump that high in order to get the ball. He actually almost met it at ground level. Jagger Smith is a very, very sore boy, though. And this kick will occur after the siren. Tom De Koning will take a little bit of extra time to kick it goal. So for the Blues, second major of the quarter to bring it within 6 points. It is an absolute shocker. So 3-quarter time, the Saints are up by 11 points heading into the fourth quarter of this match sim. The Blues only manage the 9 third-quarter points, their worst total of the period. Or of the game. And for the Saints, they kicked 3 goals, 3. And were able to, cement a pretty nice lead heading into the fourth quarter. So 54-43 score 3-quarter time. And if we look at the goal scorers, let's take a quick gander. 2 to Mackay, 2 to Motlop, 1 to TDK, 1 to Chera for the Blues. And for the Saints, 2 to Butler, 2 to McConnell, 1 to Sharman, Boxall, Hall, and Higgins. So they put on a good showing, the Saints. If you are enjoying the stream and the coverage, by the way, let me know in the chat. Also drop a like on the stream. It takes very little of your time and effort, but it does help the stream plenty. And if you are interested in Carlton analysis pieces, we'll be back doing it this year. So if you're interested, the first one is going to be on Jagger Smith. I've just made that decision right now. I've really enjoyed watching him play. So I think I'm going to do it on him. It should be a nice bite-sized bit of content for you to consume probably early next week, because we do have one more game against GWS next week, I believe, before we head into the AFL season. It's crazy because back in the day, it used to be, late March, you were starting the season. It would be Carlton, Richmond in the week of the 20s in March. But now it's like the 6th, the 5th, it feels like it's way too early to watch footy. But here we are. So 1 more quarter to play. Alrighty. And let me know what you are thinking of the commentary. And even the overlay. Because this is what I've been doing for the net streams as well. It looks pretty sick. Pretty clean, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to be using this overlay much this year because, you know, I don't really stream games at all. Because there's not really too much incentive for me to do it when you've got other people doing it. Yeah. So, yeah, this is like a bit of a one-off, but I hope you are enjoying it. Okay. So, one more quarter to play. And it looks like, so players we have not seen today that were in the squad list. Brody Kemp, have not seen any sighting of him. Who else are we missing? I think everyone else we've seen. Durden was out there, Camporelli was out there, Lord was out there, Lemmy was out there. Elijah Hollands, the only one. And the other interesting name, which I have no idea what's going on with him, Jordan Boyd. Did he have an injury in the off-season? Because he's not with the group today. But he's not on the injury list. Even Hollands isn't on the injury list and he hasn't played. So maybe he's going to be playing more minutes with the twos. That's just an assumption. So we've got one more quarter to play. Alrighty. So overall, I think, who have I been impressed by? Jagger is the clear standout for me. Jagger is the clear standout. Just trying to think, like, the midfielders, no one's really stuck out to me. Defensively, we've had some good performances. The small forwards are the glaring issue. I mean, I know it's only a match sim, but it's like I'm seeing a lot of the same, right? Polish is something that won't necessarily arrive in a like in a match sim. Polish is something you won't get necessarily, but what you can get is positioning. And from players that have been a small forward in this league for a number of years now, the positioning thing should have latched on by now. You should know where to position yourself at the fall of a marking contest. But it seems like way, way, way too many times we've had marking contests just fall on deaf ears. Like, there's just been no presence. And that is something that, if you see that in preseason, I feel like that is an issue. Do I think having Matt always there would make a difference? Absolutely not. The forward coach situation, I don't know who does it, but really, we needed an overhaul. I think we did get a bit of an overhaul in the off-season. Potentially. I don't even remember. But my goodness, the forward coaching situation needed to be fixed in the off-season. Because it's like I'm watching the same thing again. You know? Interestingly enough, so Cripper has been put on ice, unsurprisingly. I think Harry Mackay, it's the same. Harry Lemmy is, or has been getting a bit of time in the third quarter, so he will play this fourth quarter. De Koning's in the middle. I think I saw Pitto getting a bit of work done on his lower leg, so he may be out for the game. Durden also was getting an ankle check, and Jagger Smith was limping pretty badly at the end of the third quarter, so he got crunched. And I'm going to assume that probably put an end to his day, which is a bit unfortunate because I think he had a really, really good match. We're underway in the fourth quarter, though, and we've got a tie-up again. That Boyd for St Kilda, he's actually been really, really impressive for them. Like, he beats out Tom Campbell. Tom Campbell was their second choice ruckman for years. If that Boyd guy is their second choice ruck, that is a good ruck. He almost could play in the ones. De Koning knocks it to himself. One at ground level by the Saints. Quick kick inside 50. How on earth have they marked that? Mitch Owens with a grab, and Wiedering was right there, but it was to the advantage of Owens. And no matter how close you are to your opponent, that kick was always, for its low and flat trajectory, it was always going to favor the attacking player. And so a shot on goal for the Saints' 9th and Owens' first of the day. Got to remember, the Saints don't have Philippou as well. So this has been an impressive showing. That doesn't hold its line. And Owens misses his first shot at goal. Lead is now 2 goals, an even 2 goals. Sard will do the kick-in duties for the Blues. He'll take it out the right side and then go back to the left. Wiedering wanted the Sard hand pass. It was cut off. Short into Cooper Lord. Going to look a little bit longer. That is a great kick to Binns. That broke the lines a little bit, but Binns is going to play a little bit conservative here. Has Doherty open in the middle. Great kick. There's a lot of space to move. The Blues just need to be the good enough side to attack it. That is a shocking kick by Sam Doherty. He's absolutely burnt Harry Lemmy there. That should have been an easy hit up, and he's kicked it 10 meters over his head. So if you want to win this game, you've got to be kicking or hitting simple targets like that. So 2.5 minutes gone here in this fourth quarter. The lead is 2 goals for the Saints. De Koning got completely removed. Well, for some reason, it wasn't called a free kick in favor of De Koning. Cottrell got rid of the first man, but there was help there. It's Travaglia who's actually now playing. De Koning's a bit slow to get up, so Blues a little battered and bruised here. That's a great kick on the clearance to Cooper Sharman, and McRae on the outside will kick a little further down the line. Wiedering in front, but it went off hands, and the Saints have the numbers. Chera with a brilliant tackle, and it's called holding the ball. He may have gotten a fist to it, but the tackle was rewarded, and Adam Chera with a very important defensive play because the Blues had been picked apart. Doherty, overlap runner is Hewitt. He's got an extra man in the chain, and it is Cooper Lord. He's just got to hit a target. He had short men on. He's gone longer, and Harry Mackay, it's gone over his head, and it's kept alive. Impressive tap, and Motlop will kick his 3rd major. It was Akers who kept it alive. It is goal number 3 for Jesse Motlop, and the Blues get within a single goal. I do not like, though, Cooper Lord. Like, I know he's gone at top of the square where Harry Mackay is, but isn't it easier to just hit a short 15-meter pass than kick a high and long one to Harry Mackay? That's what I would have thought, but sometimes common sense doesn't prevail with this team. So, really, it's like speaking to a brick wall. So, first goal for the Blues in this fourth quarter. It's the first major between either side, actually. So 1 goal lead for St Kilda. Hall in the ruck. Mackay is there. Tackle. And definitely did not have it. Even though Boyd just completely dropped the ball. Run off halfback. Well done there on the tackle by Cottrell. Cut off the Wanganeen Miller, a rebound, and the Blues. What? How the fuck have the Saints gotten the ball there? The Blues were off to the races. Then they've spoiled each other in the back line. Shocking hand pass to Lewis Young. Had the wind taken out of its sails. It's a ball up deep inside the Saints attacking 50. Don't ask me how that's a free kick. They have plucked some absolutely ridiculous calls out of nowhere, out of thin air. Today, Saints keep it alive. That could have almost been out on the full. But the ball was already out of play. It will be a throw-in. 5 and a bit minutes gone in the fourth. Elijah Hollands is getting ready on the sideline. Hudson O'Keefe as well, but he wasn't even on the squad list. No one got a hand to it on that ruck contest. It went to Cooper Lord, but he's cleared straight to the Saints. Shocking kick central. Wilkie is locked up by Jesse Motlop, and that is a good result for St Kilda because the Blues had the numbers swarming. So, Harry Lemmy in this ruck contest. The 231s will go at it. One at the back of the stoppage by the Blues. Chera goes a little bit further back. Well done. Haynes will kick wide. Finds Binns, who dropped the mark. Puts a little bit of pressure on himself. And then he's kicked it about 5 meters. Good pressure, though, by Fantasia to force the error. The Blues get it back. Binns. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. How can you... Like... Had a chance at redemption there to just hit a simple target to Motlop, but he was on the wrong side. He kicked on the right and he put it way too far in front. And it would have had Motlop gunning at a chance for a 4th goal. Harry's going to try to take it out of the ruck, but the Saints were ready for that. Fantasia, quick spin move out of traffic. Binns didn't get enough on the little snap at goal. And the Blues now have it under a goal the margin. So a goal would give them the lead back as they crack 50 points. How have we just allowed them to have an open man in the center of the ground off the kick-in? I will never know. Well played. Hall on the wing. God, they've got numbers leaking out everywhere. However, they've somehow picked the only Carlton man in about 20 meters of space. It was Haynes, and now the Blues can attack the corridor. Chera, they've got so many runners. They kick long. Oh my God, you had Fogarty and Fantasia wide open. You've picked out Wanganeen Millera, and it's resulted in a rebound the other way. Akers has just got to rush the ball, and he's almost made a meal out of it. And he's just rushed it for a behind. So that could have resulted in something very, very bad. Nick Haynes is cramping badly, so the age is showing. The age is showing, and the fact that he probably hasn't played an AFL level game for a while, that is also showing. Hudson O'Keefe is out there. Blues getting a bit of overlap. Cottrell gets the shepherd by Lemmy, and it means he has a lot more time to remain poised. He passes it off short, and then one more into, oh my God, Doherty. It wasn't 15. Hollands is out there. It's going to be a ball up, or it's going to be holding the ball because he's dived on it. It's going to be a ball up. What the hell are you doing, Moya? 40 meters out. You have the wind at your back. And you've gone to pass it off. Hudson O'Keefe took it out of the ruck. It may actually work for Cottrell. How is that not a mark? What? That is 15 every day of the week, unless it was touched. Oh, Jesus Christ. They're loving a good not 15 call. Saints shovel it to the back of the stoppage. A rushed clearance. Oh, Akers gets his arm pinned and he couldn't get a handball away. And it will be holding the ball. That's well done by the Saints. Kick hangs in the air. And McRae will hand it off for the handball receive. Burns, another one over the top. Good tackle there by McGovern. He buries Windhager into the turf, and that's called holding the ball. And Butler got pushed by... Well, Butler pushed McGovern as he was trying to get up. That could have been 50. Lord getting busy in this fourth quarter. Short pass. Into Carroll. He's going to move it quickly. He's got a bit of space to turn into. And it's Fantasia who's got the positioning. It was misjudged by Webster, and Fantasia, do not pass it off. Turn your back on everyone else. Line it up. You're straight in front, 40 meters out from goal. You can tie the game at the 10-minute mark of this fourth quarter. So the Blues lining up for their second major of the quarter. It's been very, very free-flowing here in this fourth quarter. To be expected as players tire in searing heat. Fantasia will go for goal. He's gotten a lot on it. It's going to hang in the air, and he has hooked it to the left. It seems like that's where the wind is taking every kick to that end. So 7-9, 51 to 8-8, 56. A close match here at Ikon Park in the first preseason hit out between these two teams. Kick sent long. O'Keefe with the spoil. Lemmy is going to tackle the man. Saints of the numbers. Burns. Beautiful kick in traffic to Boxshall. Higgins takes the grab. Oh, he dropped it. What? Higgins is going to get the benefit of the doubt here and get paid the mark at centre wing. Off the back of the stoppage. Kick by O'Connell. That's been overcooked. And it goes out of bounds. And a boundary throw in. About 40 out from the St Kilda goal. I see some strapping on Sard's left quad. Of course, he had a little collision in the first half. But he's back out there now. Hewitt in traffic. Does well to break away. Finds Lewis Young. Just the high up and under. And we've got to create a contest. Hollands does well. Motlop was at ground level. Hollands didn't have the ball, and he was also caught high. Blues got to move quick. They've got the numbers on the open side. It's McGovern who will play down the middle to Hollands. There are runners. But Hollands just lets every single player go by, and he's going to kick long to a one-on-one. It's dropped by Wangani Millera, who went up as the third man. Straight to Sam Doherty. We've got so many numbers. Doherty's ball use has been shocking. Lord finds... Oh my God, man. I think it was... I don't know who it was, but... Just another screwed up kick inside 50. Another fumble by the Saints. This heat must be getting to the players at this point. Travaglia goes back. Another high up and under kick. A one-on-one between Wiedering and Owens. Help defender arrives in Carroll. Wiedering is taken down, but that is another high tackle. Or sorry, it's a high fend off. Kamanides going to get the ball here. It looks like he may have taken a hit to the jaw or some shit. So, nearly halfway gone through this fourth quarter. The lead is 5. Kamanidi to the pocket. Oh my God, he's taken the mark. Owens has somehow hugged that ball before it went to grass, and Owens will have a difficult snap shot from the pocket. With that wind being a massive factor. I mean, I don't know how he's going to kick this. If he kicks this, it is bloody impressive. So, they have not kicked a goal in this quarter. The Blues have had multiple chances to take the lead, but have not capitalized. Owens is going to go the drop punt, and he misses to the near side. So, 8-9, 57. Blues are 7-9, 51. Sard going to take a bit of grass, and then does well to find Carroll, who looks a lot like Ollie Hollands, and then he's overcooked the hand pass. It was too far ahead of Fantasia. Binns does well. That's a good bit of play by Carroll. Just get it and go, but he's just got to be a little bit cleaner with the disposal. You like the thought process, though. O'Keefe in the ruck gets out muscled. We've got another holding free, and this time it is Saints footy again. I think Jack Steele is going to get the ball here. He's played a pretty decent game. So Jack Steele going to slow the play up as the Saints play a bit of a forward half game. They kick inside 50. Nearly a mark taken. Cottrell meets the footy. Just dropped it. Good hand pass. Wilson can go for goal. He's gone for the snap to the top of the square. That was surprising. Young spent it before he had it, but somehow found Cooper Lord in it all, and he will look to slow things down a little bit. It's been a frantic 15 fourth quarter minutes. Not many stoppages. We go long. Lemmy makes a contest. Motlop's at ground level. He's got to knock it to himself. He does so into space. Akers is going to pick it up. Go for goal, son. And did he even kick a score there? I don't think he even kicked a score. Motlop's done very well there. Just a little bit stiff that he's hit the deck. And wasn't able to follow up his own work. Because I would have backed him in a little bit more than Akers, who can't kick a drop punt on the best of days. Another behind for the Blues. That's their 10th behind in the game. So they've been vastly inefficient. Clearing kick there by the Saints. Apologies. Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, what am I doing? I don't know how to zoom out. Shit. Losing close quarters here. Good tackle by Lord. At the bottom of the pack is Chera. Back of the stoppage, it's Carroll. Oh, that's a laser. Cottrell picks it up on the half volley very cleanly. It goes over the back of Lemmy. Who's at ground level? Motlop with the tackle. Lemmy with the tackle. How is that not ball? Good forward pressure, though, by the Blues. 17 and a half minutes gone. Another ball up here. Lots of movement around the contest. Good fucking smother there by Cooper Lord, who's at the bottom of the pack, and it will be another ball up. Another ball up. Clearing kick by Steele. Contest at centre half back for the Saints. Blues find a bit of space. Carroll provided some good halfback minutes here, but his kicking's left a bit on the table. Saints will rebound off the back 50. They got numbers over the top as well, finding a little bit of space. It's Cooper Sharman, who wants numbers to push forward here. Gee, they've done well to work it in close quarters. Kick to the top of the square. Got to get up. Travaglia nearly took the grab. Moving through traffic is Camperelli. Hollins. Overcooked the kick again. And Wanganeen Miller chops it off. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Why is that not locking in? Really frustrating. All right, I'll just leave it there. Sorry. We've got a St Kilda free kick. Because of course we do. It's happened all game. So, got a set shot here for the Saints. I think it may be... Yep, it's Caminiti. What is Lewis Young doing in that contest? So Caminiti will shoot to give the Saints a 2-goal buffer, which will be pretty handy at this stage of the game. 19 and a half minutes gone. We could have a draw by the end of this. Who knows? Caminiti needs to kick truly, though. And Caminiti kicks the goal. So it's back up to an 11-point game. Caminiti's kicked his first. And the Saints have kicked their first goal of the fourth quarter. They've had quite a few chances to do it. Am I training to be a paid commentator for SEN? No. Nah. Why would you say that? Would I smoke a bong on live when Carlton make the grand final? Nah, that's not my life, man. Look, it may make me act a little bit unhinged, but let's stick to winning preseason matches before we talk about winning grand finals, eh? So we're a little over 20 minutes gone. We're now in time on. Motlop's playing in the guts with Elijah Hollins and Chera. Now that is a strange one, but I don't mind that actually. Give him a go in the guts. Bins, back of the stoppage is McGovern. We'll get a bit of rebound off halfback. That's a good kick to Lord. You have a runner over the top. It is Motlop. He is in acres. Pass him the ball. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lord's going to kick inside 50. Get up, Harry. Motlop the crumb. He's everywhere. Oh, he gets it back. The tap on. The assist. Kick the goal, Campo. That is box office, Jesse. Oh, my God. Well done, Mots. Centre bounce clearance he attended. He had the space on the Cooper Lord kick before he even had it. Then he roves the contest. We've talked about positioning at halftime. And that's great composure by Motlop as well, because I feel like in a past life, he would probably try snap that himself and try get all the chocolates for his efforts, but he gets the assist instead. That is, well, 3 goals, and I mean, that assist there is as good as a 4th. So the Blues get it back to a 5-point game. Very quick response. And this one is going to go down to the wire. I know it's not for premiership points, and it's actually not even as meaningful as a preseason game, but, you know, feel like it'd be good to get a win out of this. McRae with the clearance. High and long. Good mark taken by Matt Carroll. He's been impressive. Excuse me. Oh my God, he's nearly overcooked the kick to Doherty though. Blues are going to rebound off halfback. They've got a lot of open players. Fantasia at centre field. He can look across the body. He can look long. He's going to go somewhere in between and hit the target. It's George Hewitt. It was intended for Lemmy. 45 metres out. Hewitt will go for goal. 45 away. Does he have the leg? Because usually when he kicks for goal, he doesn't follow through on his kick. He is looking for options very proactively. Hewitt's going to look long, I think. On the paint, kicks inside 50. He's looking for Lemmy. However, cutting in front was the Saints defender. I don't know who that is. Saints will clear, though. That kick's gone straight to Nick Haynes. It just went through his hands, though. The Saints have a couple numbers over the back. Nets have... Oh, not the Nets. Mate, wrong stream, buddy. The Blues have committed all their numbers to attack that they allowed a very easy transition into the forward line for the Saints. 24 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. 5-point lead for St Kilda. They have led for much of the second half after the Blues led for much of the first half. So, O'Keefe in the ruck contest. Taps it straight down to a Saints player. It was an awesome rove. Though the Blues do well to combat that and they get a clearance. They kick to the wing. Lemmy couldn't take the mark. Saints will rebound back inside 50. It's Steele to Travaglia. He can load up. And kicks from 55. He's kicked the goal. And that is a beautiful goal to give them an 11-point lead. It's been rebounding back and forth from that margin back down to under a goal. Their 10th major of the game. And even though he's only had a few touches, but he's been pretty impressive. You haven't seen the worst of Akers yet. It's actually crazy that Akers is a cold hero for what he did in the finals in 2023. of all players on our list, Blake Acres. It's like I follow Everton, and one of the least technically gifted players has been attached with so many good moments for the club. And he'll be etched in folklore, but he is just a shit player. Like, skills-wise, I feel like Acres is the same kind of thing. He runs hard, exactly like this Everton player I'm talking about. Saints do well to mop it up off half-back, and a nice short pass into Butler on the wing. It's actually scary, the parallels, to be honest. Butler will kick long. Blues down 11. Blues are going to need to move incredibly efficiently in order to kick 2 goals and win the game. Steal it away. McGovern, he's taken way too long with it, but the Blues work it well in traffic, and they get a quick transition forward to a 2-on-1. Acres, speak of the devil, nearly took the mark. Kicked off the ground. Toe poke straight to the Saints. That handball was a little bit off. Butler does well composure-wise, and Boxall will take the mark and not feel like he's in any rush. So, Saints have done well in this fourth quarter to compete. Oh, that's a big leap there by, I think it was Mitch Owens. Higgins is open out the back. I don't know why that's occurred, but the Blues have multiple numbers sweeping around the back, looking to rebound. Fantasia was well held up, and it's going to be a 50-meter penalty because he was hindered the ability to be able to handball it. Fantasia, you got to move your ass. You got 3 minutes. He's going to kick short, and he's overcooked the kick. What a fucking surprise that is. All game we haven't adjusted to it. Lemmy, quick kick, top of the square. Nearly a mark taken there by Cooper Lord. And a short pass in to Boyd for the Saints. And that opportunity right there, that Fantasia kick inside 50, is exactly what, that sums it up today. Had a lot of opportunities. McGovern, I thought, was taken high. But a good hold up there by Mitchie Owens with 2.5 minutes to play in this preseason hit out. The Saints lead 69-58. If you have enjoyed this stream, make sure to drop a like. And we're doing Carlton analysis all year round. So if that is something that may interest you, we're going to do it on Jagger Smith off the rip. That'll be out sometime next week. So make sure to subscribe so you are tuned in or notified for when I go and publish that one. So Saints will look to take the sting out of this game. It has been a pretty hard-fought game. I mean, it is not cold out there. It is very, very warm. And a lot of the players will be tired. Good rove there by Travaglia. One-on-one with Haynes and Winhager. No winner there, but Sard is able to mop it up. And the Blues can attack again. Hollins. Short pass in the midfield. I don't know where he's going with that pass. Fogarty needs to come meet it, but he didn't seem remotely interested. He's had a very quiet game, Fogarty. Saints have an open man. Haynes does well to spoil, and he'll rebound off the back 50 late in the game. That's an impressive effort. Cottrell. Overlap runner is Hollins. Please hit a target for dear life. It's a 4-on-2. It's hit ground level. Saints have got it still, and they have done well to repel all the Blues attacks today after the Blues started pretty strong out the gates. The Saints have responded very, very well, not only in the second quarter, but to keep the Blues at bay in this fourth quarter and also to take the lead in the third quarter. It's definitely been a well-structured effort by the Saints. So 20 seconds left in this hit out. Acres handballs to absolutely no one. The Saints will win this one. Doherty with a quick handball without taking possession. They've got open numbers. It's Camporelli. The clock will go. Siren. There it is. And it is only fitting that it is summarized by a kick that was completely overcooked to Harry Lemmy. That is full time. And the Saints win this preseason hit out 69-58 in that fourth quarter. It was a messy fourth quarter. The Saints only kicked 15 points in that fourth period. For the Blues at 3/4 time, they were 43. So they end up matching the Saints total for 15 points in that second half. A lot of these players look absolutely cooked, and some of them will need to play with the Rezzies. Brody Kemp will be one of those guys. We did not see a second of action from him. Elijah Hollands only played the quarter. I'd imagine he will play with the twos as well. And so players like Harry Lemmy, Matt Carroll played a full game and was pretty impressive. Cooper Lord will probably play with the twos, Hudson O'Keefe as well. But if we look at the goal scorers, let's have a quick look. We've got 3 from Motlop. He had a pretty decent game today. He was highly impressive. We've got him with 3, Harry with the first 2 of the game, DeConing, Chera, and Camper Rally with a goal each. And for St Kilda, McConnell and Butler with 2 each. And then Sharman, Boxall, Hall, Higgins, Caminiti, and Travaglia with an impressive goal. To round out the Saints, 10 goals that they kicked today. Ultimately, they win by 11 points. And from here on, the Blues will look to play one more preseason hit out against GWS before things really kick off against Richmond, I believe, on the 13th of March. So, overall, an interesting performance. A lot to extract from that game, that's for sure. I think the main takeaways for me would probably involve shocking ball use. I mean, it was very blustery out there and very difficult to judge with so much swirliness. But that being said, you would have expected a bit better ball use heading into the forward 50 because, mate, we were leaving a lot on the table. I would say a fair bit of it was unacceptable. Hitting simple targets, and I'm talking from experienced players. So that is the thing. I don't care what anyone else says. That is the thing that takes your team to the next level. The minute you can change up your style of play to suit the conditions and also just give you a lot more unpredictability as a team, that is going to place you in good stead. Right now, like a performance like this, even though it is only preseason, it strikes me as a performance very similar to how we would play in seasons gone by. Which I don't think holds up as flag worthy. And I'm not meaning to be a buzzkill. That is an opinion. You also can have your own opinion, but in my eyes, it's like, I just don't think that is sustainable to play a pressure and contest game. You looked at how Brisbane played last year. They had a perfect balance. And for one, they could actually hit targets. And they had the balance right. And they were able to rely upon multiple contributors. Now, we need a fairly big sample size to know whether or not we will get the same consistency across the board. But look, Motlop kicking 3 is a good starting point because it's not often he kicks a bag. And we need to see multiple goals from him. We need him to be Owies we need him to be the new Owies, basically, because we need that substitute. But really, we need to have multiple aspects to our game. That's all I'm saying. We can't do this pressure and contest BS. We need to be able to use the ball well. You're not going to be a flag-winning side with shit ball use. Who was I impressed with in today's Pracky game? I think Motlop kicking 3. He might as well have had a 4th because Camporelli's goal was assisted off him. It was like a single man. It was basically a single man effort. So I think that was a pretty good showing by Motts. I was impressed with Jagger Smith until he got injured and limped off at 3/4 time. That being said, we will actually do a full coverage of Jagger Smith's game in our Carlton analysis next week. So that's who we'll be doing it on. That just shows how impressed I was with him. Other players, Matt Carroll had a really good game. He is not going to get an AFL game to his name, I don't think. But I do think he was pretty impressive, and he's got a little bit of an Ollie Hollands resemblance to him. Basically the same sort of haircut, like the hair flowing in the wind when you're running off halfback. He sort of runs the same way and has the same ball drop. So he actually had a pretty good game, except for the ball use. That's probably why he's not in the league. Not particularly anyone else I was overly impressed by. Let me go through the list. Looks like for injuries, Adam Sard came out of the game with a bit of a quad complaint. Pitto missed the 4th quarter because we played Hudson O'Keefe. He wasn't even on the squad list. So that maybe tells me that Pitto got injured on the lower leg. Corey Durden was out there for 6 minutes and then he sat out for the rest of the game. So either he's playing with the twos or he's just not going to play today. And his ankle was bugging him. I really don't know what to make of like Zach Williams' performance. He only played a half. Cripper only played a half. Hewitt played a pretty good game. He was busy as usual. I did like his close quarters work. And, you know, you get what you see, or you get what you expect from Wiedering, McGovern. I think Haynes was good in his first game. Jackson Binns did some pretty nice things as a winger with his run and spread. But, yeah, there was probably, I don't know, there was probably a few passengers today. Doherty did not look himself today. And I expect him to take a bit more time to ease in. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Don't worry too much. Preseason is historically meaningless, as are the first 4 rounds. I'm just looking for little, like, ominous signs, right? And I said this at halftime. I said positioning is one of the things that, if you've been in the league for 3 or 4 seasons, right, and we're talking about small forwards, Fantasia's been in the league for fucking 10 years. Motlop's been in the league for 4 years. Fogarty's been in the league for over, like, I think Fogarty's 25 now. Motlop, as I said, 4 years. Durden's been around it for a few years now, but he barely played. These guys need to know positioning at this point. They've been around the same players for their whole, like, for quite a few seasons now. Fogarty's been there for a couple of years, but Motlop, Durden, Fantasia's been around it for over 12 months now. These guys should know where to position themselves. And I felt like today too much I was seeing not enough good positioning. Bottom line. So that is something that definitely translates over to the regular season. Your skills can be a lot different. Your skills, if you have shit skills today, it may not necessarily translate over. But positioning, that is a big thing. You know, marking contests, if you're lacking positioning there, that is a problem that definitely can carry weight into the regular season as well. Because, you know, like, for example, Lewis Young, if he gives away free kicks today, which he did a couple of times, bottom line, that is Lewis Young for you. Excuse me. That is what you're getting. So, you know, if we have Lewis Young playing regular minutes, he had a pretty decent end to last year, but still, there's no flag-winning side that has Lewis Young in their backline. How do you think Walshy and Charlie changed the side from what we saw today? It's really tough to gauge because there was a very heavy midfield rotation. to the point where we had Jesse Motlop attending a centre bounce. I'm talking Jagger Smith played minutes. We had, so who did we have? We had Cripps, Hewitt, Chera, Smith, Motlop, Cooper Lord. Like, I don't really know, because like Charlie Curnow, it's actually really tough, because Walshy's ball use last year was not good enough. And Charlie Curnow, from my eyes, he kicked a ton of goals. Massive. You can even see it on your screen. 57 goals kicked in 2024. He led our group. But the thing is, we are yet to see from them this year, have they evolved themselves from last year? In the sense that, like, is Charlie actually going to utilize his athleticism a lot more? And by that I mean, stop having tussling contests in the goal square and use your pace and your leaping ability more to make the defenders a little bit more accountable. From a Walshy perspective, I don't know if his ball use has gone to another level, or that's just the player he is. Because I think the two things that we need, or the main things that we need, I don't think Walshy brings it. Or in past seasons, I don't think Walshy's brought it. And I don't think the game plan in past years has accommodated Charlie's athleticism. It's accommodated his strength. When I don't think that's actually his biggest asset. So it remains to be seen, because we haven't seen them yet this year. If I had have watched them today and had have seen what they delivered today, then maybe it would be a different story, and I'd have different comments for you. But I think it's one of those things. I think we're gonna have to wait and see. Look, I think on paper they obviously make us better. I think they iron out a lot of errors that we may have seen today from more inexperienced players. Like Harry Lemmy is not doing what Charlie Curnow is doing. Harry Lemmy very clearly looks like multiple rungs below in terms of talent. But in terms of the things that we need to go to the next level and actually be a top 4 side, top 2 side, I'm not sure if Walshy and Charlie Curnow are the difference makers in that, which is really strange to say. It is ultimately the supporting cast and the collective. We talked about Brisbane. I'll have a quick look. Look, I'm just going to prolong this stream a little bit because I don't really do this often. So thanks for those still remaining in chat. Feel free to put something in the chat and share your thoughts about the game today and what you thought. Because obviously I'm responding to your comments. So share something in the chat. What did you think about the game today? What are your expectations for the season? Any players that impressed you today? Or any players that you're looking forward to seeing, which we didn't see today? Let me know in the chat, because I'm here. I'm here live and in the flesh. Like, you know, usually I'm posting videos and I'm only responding to comments. So this is a good opportunity for you. Let me just have a quick look. Why is that taking so long to load? Don't mind me. I'm just trying to search up. This is the ultimate difference making sort of thing I'm talking about, and what the Blues need. You look at a team like the Brisbane Lions, right? Brisbane Lions in 2024. I can take one look at their goals, right? And this is very surface level. But if I look at goal scoring, I don't want team averages, I want team totals. Here we go. Goals a game. You got Danaher with 58. He was our top scorer. But then you have got 8 players who scored over 20 goals. Granted, it is including finals, but 20 goals, 8 goal scorers. Bailey Morris, Archie, Rayner, Hipwood, Lohman, Cameron, Danaher. That's nearly an entire forward line right there for goals. And then you've got McCluggage chiming in with 19. Neil's got 13. But that's not all. It's like they've got Zorko with brilliant ball use off halfback. They've got McCluggage, Zach Bailey, Jared Berry's a tagger. You've got Lockie Neal, obviously. He's won a Brownlow before. Josh Dunkley, haven't even mentioned his name yet. And that's also without including Will Ashcroft, who was their best player on Grand Final day. These players are impressive. And Brisbane have a whole list of them. And so that is where I draw the line. That is where I say we are a long way off it. Because then you go to the Carlton 2024 stats. And I look at the exact same statistics. I'm reading chat. I've read chat. I'm looking at chat right now. I'm just talking. Let's have a look. Team totals. Goals. Get this. We had 3 players with 20 or more goals. 3 players. We had the same amount of players in double figures for goals as Brisbane did for players who scored 20 or more goals. That is a staggering bit of news. Owies, Mackay and Curnow. If I go down the list, I can't even name another forward. Cripps on 17, Holland's on 17, but he's sort of a hybrid. Kennedy on 16, Williams on 15, and Akers on 13. We had Fogarty score 9, Cottrell score 9, De Koning score 9, Fantasia score 9, Motlop score 6 in 7 games, Durden score 7 in 14 games. And then you've got midfielders, Sam Walsh with 5. It's just fairly problematic. So those are just a few thoughts I have. Of course, there is a long season ahead of us, but it's just a little bit of food for thought. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Do I like Carlton? I mean, I've got Carlton frames in the background. I'm doing a Carlton watch party, so yes, sir. I do like the Blues, but that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I do not know what this Carlton season's going to have in store for us, but just reminding you, of course, we are doing a little analysis video for Jagger Smith next week, so make sure to drop by for that video. That should be out next week, early to mid next week. It shouldn't be too long. It's probably going to be about 7 or 8 minutes. A nice little ease-in sort of video, but I hope you go on to enjoy that. Thanks for hanging around, everyone. Stay away from the heat. Stay safe. We will chat to you in a short while. But until then, have a good one. See you guys.